keep me away. Not the densest jungle, the muddiest swamp, the wildest beast. You rang?
Oh, it's only you, Maynard. Bye, Dobie. We'll be waiting
Bye,
for you.
girls. Bye-bye.
It's only you, Maynard. It's only you,
Maynard, please. No offense, Maynard, but as your friend, I ought to tell you why everybody says it's only you, Maynard. It's because you act like it's only you, Maynard. That's why. Look at you. Do you stand up like a man? No, you sag like a wet noodle. Are your eyes aimed up, searching for success? No, they're aimed down, looking for failure.
Dobe.
Up, Maynard, not down.
Dobe.
Look at the stars.
Dobe.
Now, what is it, Maynard?
If I keep looking up, I'm not going to be able to see that purse laying there.
Purse is lying where?
There. Right there.
Open it. Open it, Maynard.
Ooh, man, it's like money.
It is money. Tons and tons of it. Here, Maynard, it's yours. Count it.
It's my money?
Yeah.
Here's a $1 bill. Here's a $2 bill. Here's a $3 bill. Here's a $4 bill. $5 bill.
Maynard. I think I My friend Maynard G. Krebs may not be another Abraham Lincoln or Warren G. Harding or James K. Polk, but if there's one thing he is, it's honest. I mean, there was $512 in that purse, and honest Maynard's immediate instinct was to do the honorable thing and turn it over to the police.
Like over my dead body.
What else can you do with it, Maynard?
Swallow it.
Maynard.
Dope, I worked a long time to earn that money.
Maynard, you didn't work for it.
Oh, no? How old am I, good buddy?
18.
And I just today found the money. True?
True,
So 18 years of searching to find a measly $512 is only like a nickel a day. And that's the hardest work I ever heard of. So I got a right to keep it.
Right.
Right. Who are we kidding, Daddy? This money was lost by some human person. Maybe even by somebody like me.
Yeah, an unlikely prospect, but possible.
I gotta turn it over to the police so they can, give it back to the poor broken down cat that lost it.
Maynard, you're an honest man.
Well, leave us just say I'm like a great American.
Maynard, why are you just standing there?
To give you time to talk me out of this foolishness.
Maynard, I'm shocked.
Yeah, you're right, Dope. I gotta turn it in.
Yeah, on the other hand,
Yeah.
what if the person who lost this money isn't poor and broken down?
Yeah, what if he's like crazy rich or something?
He must be rich. Who else could run around losing $512?
Only like some wealthy millionaire like that, right? Right.
Yeah, not right. No, we can't keep the money just because it belongs to somebody who's loaded. They're citizens, too.
True. I guess I better get down to that station.
On the other hand...
Yeah.
Insurance.
Insurance?
Sure, they tell the insurance company they lost $512 and they get all the money back.
What's to stop them from telling the company they lost like $1,000 or $2,000?
Or $5,000.
Dope, if we turn this money in, we're keeping them from raking in a fortune.
Right. Not only that, but if you give the money back, it'll move the owners up to a whopping income tax bracket and they'll have to pay the government through the nose.
Man, we're doing them a favor by keeping it.
Right. Yeah, there's only one thing wrong.
Like what?
Like we gotta turn over the money to the police. Right. That's my friend, Maynard G. Krebs, square-shooting American. He went right to the police station, slapped the money on the desk in front of the sergeant, looked him straight in the eye and said,
Ain't this where I get a license for my bicycle?
Please, either come to the point or get out of here, huh?
Good thinking, bye.
Maynard, you know you've got to give the money back.
Yeah, you're right, Dope. I gotta go through with it.
Yeah.
Sergeant, I found this purse in the
park. I want you to find the owner.
squealer.
Daddy can say.
You're a good boy, Maynard. We'll try to locate the owner.
Maynard, you know you've got to give the money back.
I know, but my hand doesn't.
Yeah, that's what's wrong with this country.
What?
Too much honesty.
Here, Maynard, sign this claim.
Oh, no. The last time I signed something, I ended up with an 18-year subscription to a magazine all about how to raise chinchillas for fun and profit.
Sign it, Maynard. It gives you the money if the owner doesn't show up inside of 6 months.
Hey, you mean I might get it after all?
It's possible.
Ooh, I'll sign. Hey, I already signed. I must have been here before. Ooh, Dope, I can get everything. Ooh,
Maynard.
I don't want to be a wet blanket, but if somebody comes in here in the next 6 months and claims that purse, you won't get anything.
You think somebody might?
It's possible.
Nah, who want an old purse like that?
Yeah, and all that old money.
Sure, Dope, nobody will claim it.
No.
Come on, let's go.
Hey, that's a pretty spooky kid.
Yeah. Come on, let's get back to the card game.
Okay, whose play is it?
Your play. You picked the old maid again.
The next 6 months were enough to make a block of granite fidgety. I mean, if the owner of that purse didn't show up, Maynard would be up to his elbows in loot. There was plenty at stake, all right. And you've got to give Maynard credit. He took it easy and didn't get impatient.
Could I have my money now, please?
Maynard, I told you, you've got to wait 6 months.
I've been waiting.
How long, Maynard?
2 days. Ain't that close enough?
Out? Out.
Like hi, though. Like bye, though.
Maynard, are you going to the police station again?
That's right, good buddy.
Maynard, can't you count?
I counted like real good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6 days, Maynard. It's only 6 days. I said 6 months.
Details.
Maynard.
How?
Good thinking. Something strong, eh, Dugan?
Yeah, I just got another flooded street report.
Anybody who would budge out of his house on a night like this must be at least half macro.
You right?
It was a tough, damp 6 months. Every day Maynard went to the police station to see if the owner of the money had showed up. And every day they threw him out. On Saturdays, Sundays, and national holidays, Maynard went there twice. And on Saturdays, Sundays, and national holidays, they threw him out twice. The sergeant applied for a transfer 11 times. But in all those months, nobody came in to claim the money. And at last, Maynard's fine, shiny moment of victory had arrived. Almost.
Now, Sergeant, now?
No, Maynard, not now.
But it's like 6 months.
Yes, Maynard, it's like 6 months, but it's not exactly 6 months. You've got 24 hours more. At 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, you can come in here and claim your money. And Maynard, I have never looked forward to anything so much in my life, and that specifically includes my pension.
But it's only 1 more day, Sarge. Why can't I have it now?
The law is the law, Maynard.
After all, Maynard, the real owner may show up by 5 o'clock tomorrow.
That's a terrible thing to say. Can I have my money now, huh, Sergeant? The money, please. The money, Sergeant.
Maynard,
the money,
calm
my money,
down, huh?
like, please, like, Sergeant, like my money, like, please.
Down, Maynard, down! Your hot breath is melting my bed.
Maynard, will you please pick it up tomorrow?
Tomorrow? My money tomorrow?
Maynard, you waited 6 months. You can wait 1 more day.
Yeah, you're right. I can be figuring out what to do with it.
Officer Dugan, are the prisoners ready to be released?
Boy, are we ready!
We're ready. Come on, Willie, let's go.
Prisoner Alfred W. Montcalm.
Here, Your Honor.
Prisoner Willie Framis.
Likewise, I'm sure.
You two have served 8 months in jail for petty larceny, fraud, bunco, vagrancy, and loitering.
Loitering?
Your debt to society is now paid, and you are hereby released.
Bless you, sir.
And if you ain't out of town inside of 24 hours, I'm gonna run you in again.
24 hours? Are you kidding? When are we going to get enough money in 24 hours to get out of town?
Don't worry, little friend. Somewhere we will find the answer to our problem.
My problem is, what's the best way to spend all this loot?
I sure wish I had problems like that.
Well, it really is a problem, you know. I've been thinking about it a lot, and for a while I was a little scared.
A what?
Well, when a guy becomes a millionaire...
You'd like $512.
Like, yeah. Well, when a guy becomes a millionaire, there's always a danger it'll go to his head. I mean, money could, like, change a guy. You know, make him all uppity and snooty. Well, Dobe, I ain't gonna let that happen to me.
No.
I'm gonna try to stay just as lovable and sweet and kind and good and true blue as I've always been.
I'm getting pretty misty, Maynard.
Dobe, why do you suppose everybody, like, loves me?
Because you're lovable and sweet and kind and good.
You, like, forgot true blue.
Excuse me, true blue.
That's right, Dobe. I'm, like, lovable and sweet and kind and good and true blue. But that ain't all.
Oh?
I'm modest, too.
Oh, yeah.
And I mustn't let wealth and riches change me. I mean, I don't want to be some big, powerful tycoon that makes everybody bow and scrape. I just want to stay the same sweet, beloved Maynard G. Krebs.
You're all heart, sir.
So you know what I'm going to do with the money?
Yeah, Endow University?
No, throw a blast.
A blast?
You know, a party, a wingding, a gig.
Oh, who's coming?
Like everybody.
Everybody?
Yeah, I invited the whole school.
Uh-huh.
I mean, all the kids who've been respecting and admiring me all these years, they're going to find out Maynard G. Krebs. Don't forget.
Yeah, I repeat, sir, you're all heart.
Yeah, tonight I'm going to throw the biggest blast anybody ever saw.
Tonight?
I'm going to have all kinds of fancy foods like hot dogs and donuts and music and favors for the ladies and favors for the gentlemen.
Maynard, you're having a party tonight?
Yeah, with hot dogs and donuts and
Maynard,
favors.
you don't get the money till 5 o'clock tomorrow. How can you pay for a party tonight?
Well, Dobe, everybody in town knows about the money I found.
Uh-huh.
And rumors have been getting pretty exaggerated. The last I heard, it was up to $50,000.
$50,000. Yeah. Sit down, Maynard. Are you trying to tell me somebody's giving you credit?
Spooky, ain't it? One fella let me know a bill of $463.27 for the food.
Maynard.
He even advanced me $50 in cash.
Who was it, Maynard? A person would have to be crazy to trust you for that much money.
Dobe, that's no way to talk about your own father.
Maynard!
Willie, do you know who else is going to be at that blast?
No, Alfred. Whom else?
A little old lady selling violets.
What a cornball racket selling violets.
Yeah, but this violet seller lost a purse that had $500 in it.
Yeah?
Yeah, and when that kid out there hears about it, he's going to want her to take it.
You know, I took one look at him. I knew right away he was a stupid kid.
Yeah, he's got a heart as soft as mush. He's going to beg her to take it.
That's brilliant, Alfred. Yeah. I got a question.
Shoot.
Where are you going to find such a type like old lady?
Well, let me see. Now, with a wig and a dress I can steal from my mother, who is just about your size, and a funny little hat.
Oh, no, you don't. No, Alfred. No.
Come now, Willie.
No.
You'll make a charming old lady.
No. Remember the last time you made me dress up as a dame to con the old ladies home?
Yeah?
3 traveling salesmen proposed.
Who told you to accept, you lunkhead?
No.
Oh, Maynard, this party is the most.
Nothing's too good for any friend of Maynard G.
It
Krebs.
must have cost you a fortune.
Like who counts?
Maynard, those kids are eating like there's no tomorrow.
Does your heart good to see the young folks eat, don't it?
Maynard, if anything should happen and you don't get that money to pay my father, you know what's going to happen to me?
Yeah, good buddy. So eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you die.
Could be right.
Listen, you cats, we're gonna have a swinging square dance now, so choose your partners. Hey, Dog, good buddy, will you call?
Why not? Now you're home and now you swing round and round with the pretty little thing. Alum and a left and a right to your girl, a wagon wheel, and make it whirl. Whirl them high and whirl them low. Whirl that pretty little calico. Come on, boys, we'll dance some more. Come on, gals, grab a pal and start running out of the old corral. Form 2 lines of 3, forward 6 and back to the spot. Flip those gals, let's make it hot.
album. Call Gillis Grocery and order whatever you need. I'm very large with the proprietor.
Maynard.
Come on, smile, though. This is a happy day.
Let's hope so.
Oh, yes, it is, good buddy. This is the best day I'll ever have in my whole life, even if I live to be old, like 30 or 40.
I hope I do.
Come on, smile, Dobe. You gotta look happy when you give the speech.
Speech? What speech?
The speech I wrote telling what a great guy I am.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Maynard, I don't think I'm up to it.
All right, good buddy. You must be tired from all that calling.
Yeah.
I'll give it myself. Friends, I know I express the gratitude and appreciation of everybody here when I say, like, thank you to Maynard G. Krebs. Now, why did Maynard G. Krebs throw this blast for all his friends? 'Cause you're his friends, that's why. I mean, you're friendly. I mean, that's what you got, friendship. I mean, what would friendship be without friends? You'd be like friendless. Like, right? But leave us not get too misty. Leave us continue with the revels, compliments of that great American, Maynard G. Krebs, who now invites you to step to the refreshment table for skinless and boneless frankfurters.
Violence. Anyone? Violence. Violence. Oh, my. Violence, kind sir, please. Violence.
No.
Violence, sir!
No, but ain't polite to say no thanks, ma'am, to a little old lady like her. I'll buy all your violets, little flower type lady.
All?
Here.
Oh, thank you.
And keep the change, you poor pathetic.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, sir. You are the kindliest gentleman I have ever met.
Yeah, I'm all heart. Here, compliments of mine host.
This is the nicest thing that's happened to me since that tragic day I first arrived in this city. Sonny, my name is Mrs. Melinda Parkington. And on that tragic day, I was walking through the park, minding my miserable business, when I lost my purse containing my life savings. Over $500. Oh, what a tragic day. I was walking through the park, minding my poor miserable business, when I lost this poor miserable purse. Oh, what a tragic day.
Hey, that's a You lost $500 in a purse?
Exactly 6 months ago, while walking through the park. Right down the street.
Down the street.
Pretty miserable luck, huh, Sonny?
Miserable luck, yeah.
Little flower type lady, how about something to drink?
Oh, no, thank you, sir. You've been kind enough already.
Oh, pish posh, old dear, like easy come, like easy go.
Maynard, this
How
lady
about
is
you,
just...
good buddy? Half a dozen hot dogs, a whole crate of marshmallow sundaes, just name it.
No.
Listen to him already.
Keeper, don't spare the mustard. Those people are my honorable guests.
Maynard, there's something you ought to know.
Well, shoot, good buddy.
Oh, thank you for this beautiful party, Maynard, dear.
Oh, your pleasure's my only wish, lovely one. Tonight, let's go to the movies.
Oh, wonderful. Just the two of us?
Surely you jest. I'm no cheapskate. Bring all your friends. The popcorn will flow like wine.
Thank you.
Just a moment. Now, what did you start to say, good buddy?
Oh, Maynard, I don't know exactly how
Out
to tell
with
you
it,
this,
man.
but-
Speak up. Don't mumble.
Darn it, I spilled mustard all over my skirt.
Whoa! No guest of Maynard G. Krebs goes home dirty. Here, this should take care of it, my pet.
Maynard.
Oh, and Maynard, the cleaning bill won't be this much.
What tight wants to clean it? Buy yourself a new dress.
Thank you.
Here, buy yourself several. They're small.
Oh, you're sweet. Oh,
Whoa, come here.
thank you.
Now, where were we, friend?
You, Maynard, I don't know exactly
Out
to
with it,
tell you
man.
this,
My
but-
time is money.
Well, this little lady has a rather sad story to tell.
Oh, here. Go buy anything a little old
Maynard,
tired heart
no, Maynard,
desires.
it isn't exactly a sad story for her.
For who?
Ma'am, will you tell my friend what happened to you 6 months ago?
I came to this town with my life savings. On the day I arrived, I lost my purse and all my money
Here,
was
you
in
poor
it.
old thing.
Now, over $500 right in that park, right down
Here,
the
you
street.
decrepit old darling.
And since then, I've taken to selling violets and picking up a few pennies here and there. Oh, it's been a hard life, boys. A very hard life.
Here, you antique old lady.
Oh, it's certainly been a break running into you, boys.
Here, you creaky old person.
Maynard, did you hear what she said?
Yeah, she came here with her life savings, over $500, and she lost her purse right in the... Over $500?
In a purse.
In the park?
6 months ago. Maynard,
Yeah.
what are you going to do about it?
The right thing.
Oh, I'm proud of you, Maynard.
Yeah, nobody saw her come in here. You grab her from behind. I'll throw a sack. Station house?
Station house.
Something wrong, kind gentlemen?
Like wrong?
Like wrong?
What could be like wrong?
You look so pale.
Only on the outside. Inside, I'm kind of like worried purple.
Yeah, Mrs. Parkington, I think your days of misfortune have come to an end.
Yeah. And mine are just beginning.
Now, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You say the money is not yours?
Now, those are the breaks, Big Daddy.
Something's fishy.
We think it might belong to Mrs. Parkington here.
Yeah, this poor, pathetic old creature's even worse off than me.
Nobody's worse off than you. Now I know something's fishy.
Sergeant, it's the truth. Mrs. Parkington lost her purse about 6 months ago.
Halt!
Yeah.
I'm the law around here, and I'll handle this. Madam, how much money was in this purse you claim you lost?
A little over $500.
$512 to be exact.
$512 to be exact. My life savings. I must have dropped it in that little park right down the block.
And what have you been living on ever since?
I sell violets. Oh, it's a hard living. Especially in the winter when there are no violets. But once in a while, some kind gentlemen like these come along and help out.
Oh, stop. I can't stand it. That's the saddest story I ever heard, and once was enough. Here, little old lady. Take it. It's yours.
Oh, thank you, Maynard. You are a sweet, sensitive boy.
Is this the purse you claim you lost?
Oh, yes, of course, kind officer, of course.
Would you describe the purse in this envelope, please?
Describe it, well, it was about,
This wide.
this wide.
You remember your poor forgetful
Yes,
old thing?
this wide.
How thick was it?
Thick, well, it was about...
this thick.
This thick, that thick.
And what color was it?
Color? Well, it was black.
Brown.
Blackish brown, that's it, blackish
With a
brown.
lot of beadwork on it, and an old metal clasp like falling apart, and 2 metal tassels hanging down.
2 metal tassels, a lot of beadwork, a metal clasp, and anything else that this little kid says. Now, may I please have my purse, Sergeant?
Please, Sergeant, do you want her to go back to selling flowers, walking the cold streets on cold nights?
Maynard, her identification of this purse is pretty shaky.
Well, what do you expect from a broken down old bag of bones like me?
Let her have the purse, Sergeant, even though it'll probably take the rest of my life to pay the money back. I'll probably have to go to work. Work? Oh, but she's an old wreck, and I'm a young one. Let her have it.
All right. Here you are, you poor unfortunate creature.
Oh, thank you, kind sir, and bless you, my children. Bless you. Bye now.
Now, just a minute, just a...
Now, get away from that This is a fine way to treat a little old man.
If Willie's here, his partner must be close by.
All right, I'll nab him in a hurry.
Mrs. Parkington, you look different.
Maynard, you can keep the money after all.
Oh, drat that outfit. Every time I put on this outfit, I always wind up in trouble.
Let's go.
Let go of me, you big ape. I'm still a lady, you know.
Get in here.
Poor Mrs. Parkington.
Dobie, we all owe you a vote of thanks, especially Maynard. Say, how did you ever figure this out?
Well, remember when she kissed me? Well, that was the first time I was ever kissed by an old lady who needed a shave.
Good work, Gillis.
Poor Mrs. Parkington, losing her hair and all. Hey, that dances like Cincho. Watch me show him a couple of real hip do-si-dos.
Maynard, remember what happened the last time you tried to dance with a girl?
Oh, I wasn't so bad. Inside of a month, you had that leg out of a cast.
Maynard, those kids are good. They'll make you look foolish.
Who needs them? I can do that by myself.
If you go out there, you'll spoil everything.
Good buddy, whose hard-earned loot is paying for this blast?
Yours, Maynard?
Yeah, who went through like thick and thin, and
Thick and
rain
thin,
and snow and muck and mire and
Mrs.
violets and Mrs. Parkington to get it.
Uh-huh. So? So go out there and show them a few hip do-si-dos.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Maynard!
creamy, Dobie. Wants a gal who's creamy, Dobie. Wants a gal to call his own. Is she blonde? Is she tall? Is she dark? Is she small? Is she any kind of dreamboat at all? No matter, he's hers and hers alone. 'Cause Dobie has to have a girl to call his own.
All right, Dobie Gillis, boy speed demon. I'll bet you're asking yourself, how did I, often known as Empty Pockets Gillis, wind up with a racy hot rod like that? Well, this is going to flip you. It all started with a bicycle. Maynard, your brakes. Pull on your brakes. Brakes? What brakes? Maynard!
Gee, are you fellas hurt?
Oh, it's nothing that tender care and loving hands won't cure.
You must have been doing 30 miles an hour.
Forgive us, my co-pilot has a heavy pedal foot.
I think speed is absolutely the most exciting thing in the world.
How dare we zip along like
and
that?
I just adore people who are crazy about speed.
Yeah, I know we shouldn't have been 30 miles an hour, my dear. It was at least 50.
Thrilling.
Maybe 60.
Fabulous.
I'm Dobie Gillis, sometimes known as Speed.
I'm Charlotte Lamar.
Always known as Lovely.
You're sweet.
Yeah.
Skipper, call the flight surgeon. He'll have to start operating.
What do you think I'm doing?
Operating.
Insubordination. We've just met, my tiger, but already we have much in common.
Oh?
This love of swiftness, this passion for rushing onward ever faster, faster, faster.
Oh, Dobie, all my life I've been looking for a boy who feels that way about speed.
Your search is over. At last he has appeared.
Hi-ho, racing fans. It is I, Chatsworth Osborne Jr., the fastest and wealthiest man on wheels. Dobie!
Okay, so she likes speed. Then speed's what she's gonna get. I'll dig up a racing rig that'll make Chatsworth Osborne Jr.'s little putt-putt look like the leftovers from a train wreck.
You rang?
Maynard, I've been thinking.
Yeah, I tried it once. I fell asleep.
Maynard, I thought of a plan to get Charlotte away from Chatsworth.
Man, you gotta be joshing. She's like bolted to the front seat of his hot rod. She only gets out for meals and exercise.
Exactly my plan. If a hot rod's so important to her, then I'm gonna get a hot rod.
Okay. Who are we gonna steal it from?
Steal it?
No offense, good buddy, but I happen to know your father, and it's a cinch you ain't gonna buy it.
Maynard, we're gonna join the Downshifters Club, where Chatsworth and all those other hot rod drivers belong.
I'm like scared to join a club, and vice versa.
Yeah, and then we're gonna build a car, like in that movie we saw last week.
Grease monkey on my back?
That's the one.
Man, what a gasser.
Maynard.
Those fellas into the 500-mile Indianapolis races with a car made out of an orange crate and an old washing machine engine. Ooh, and then 2 laps from the end, they run out of gas. But does that stop them? No, sir. Nobody will help them, so they fill up the tank with rubbing alcohol. They lose the race, but they end up with the jolliest car in the whole state of Indianapolis. Maynard!
I think you got it mixed up with a couple other pictures. Would you excuse us, please? Please? Please, yes. Maynard, what I'm driving at is those fellas used American know-how. They put that car together with nothing but old odds and ends. Why can't we do that?
Sure, why not?
You bet. Why not? All it takes is brains and ingenuity and mechanical savvy. And I just answered my own question.
Cheer up, good buddy. You always got me.
I'm very grateful, Maynard, but look, what we need is help from somebody who's got the brains and ingenuity and mechanical savvy we're short on.
Where are we going to find such a fellow?
that answer your question?
Zelda? She's not exactly a fellow.
No, but she's ape for hot rods. Watch this.
Hello, Zelda. How good to see you. How very good.
Hi, Bunny.
Zelda, have you got a minute?
A minute, of course, or a whole lifetime, Snookums.
Mm-hmm. Zelda, Maynard and I were just talking about you.
Dobie, you got another warning slip in penmanship.
Well, yeah, but that's not what I want to talk to you about.
I do good in penmanship. They can't read my writing, so they don't know I'm the one they want to flunk.
Zelda, if you could have anything in the world, what would you want the most?
I've told you 1,000 times, Dobie. It's you. You, which my father says is an example of my limited horizons.
Thank you, Zelda, but I mean next to that.
You mean a...
That's right, a hot rod.
No!
We want you to work on one with us.
No, don't even mention them. It hurts too much.
Oh, it's what you were born for, Zelda. You're a mechanical genius. If you'd lived 5,000 years ago, you'd have invented the wheel.
Dobie, you are mean and cruel and rotten to even mention them. You know how I flip over hot rods?
Zelda.
My father will kill me if he ever finds me near a grease pit again.
What is he, some kind of a nut or something?
He won't even let me join the Downshifters Club.
Oh?
And you know they offered me an honorary life membership in appreciation of my invention of a new fuel induction system.
Oh, well, we're joining the club, Zelda. You can work with us.
It's out of the question.
Very well. What must be, must be. But it seems a pity. We could have had such good times working together, shoulder to shoulder, hubcap to hubcap, perhaps even sharing the same lubrication rack.
When do I start?
Zelda, you're 100%.
You're like a real human being.
Yeah.
Tell me just one thing.
Anything, my pet.
Who's the girl?
Girl? Oh, what girl? Do you know any girls, Maynard?
None that'll talk to me.
You know who I mean, Dobie. The girl who's making you do this. Yesterday, you wouldn't have known a hot rod if it came up and sat in your lap. Now you're all of a sudden crazy to have one. I tell you, Dobie, there's a girl in this someplace.
Oh, Zelda, you've discovered my secret. It's you. You're the girl.
Oh, come off it, Dobie.
Yeah, come off it, Dobie.
Maynard, you're supposed to be on my side. Oh, Zelda, I'll admit I've been fickle and flighty on occasion, but don't I always come back to you?
And that's the way it better be, lover boy. The only other pretty hit I expect to find in this operation will be on a hot 8-cylinder engine. Get it?
Good.
All right. Step number 1, getting Zelda to agree was out of the way. Next, step number 2, getting my father to agree. Now that I think about it, getting my father to agree is really steps number 2 through around 30 or 40.
Of course I agree. I agree 100%.
You do?
Certainly I agree. I agree that of all the lame brain notions you ever tried to clip me with, this one about joining up with some tribe of screwball, hot rod, unbolted nuts is way out in front as the lame brainiest.
Now, Herbert.
Oh, don't now Herbert me. If I had all the money now Herbert has cost me in the past 17 years, I could be retired and laying on the beach at Acapulco with a marimba band playing for my sun-burning pleasure.
Dad, you're getting upset.
How do you know? Who squealed? Who's the rat?
I don't altogether agree with your father's reasoning, but he is right. I don't want my baby mixed up with these drugged strips and hot roots.
Mom, that's drag strips and hot rods.
I don't care what they're called. I'm against them. They're dangerous.
I saw one of those hot rods the other day, and it was so stripped down it looked like a 4-seated carburetor with tail lights.
Well, at least come over to the downshifters and look around.
We could certainly do that, couldn't we, Herbert? Get your father's coat, dear.
How about the kind of people he's going to meet over there? Oh, I can see it all now. It's Dobie's wedding. There he is in an oil-spattered leather jacket, while the bride comes down the aisle in lace-trimmed coveralls. They zoom out of the church under an archway of grease guns and jump into their hot rod, while the laughing bridesmaids shower them with old spark plugs.
Dad, you'd feel different if you ever saw the club.
Put this on, dear. We're going over there now.
Yeah.
Where do you intend to spend your honeymoon? On the straightaway at Bonneville Salt
We have to
Flats?
shut up the store anyway. Come on, Herbert.
If he's so bugged about fixing cars, why doesn't he do something about my truck? It's untouched by human hands since 1941.
Herbert Gillis, you haven't heard a word I said.
Yes, I have. We're going over to that hot rod clam bake. We're going over to that hot rod clam bake. Oh, no, we are not. You don't catch me in that joint.
Now, Herbert.
What did you say?
I said now, Herbert.
That's what I was afraid you said. Eventually, you've got to now Herbert me into going over there, and I'm not stupid enough to fight it. Come on.
Well, that's it. We give the kids a place to work, a reasonable amount of supervision, and a sensible goal. And the rest is up to them.
I'm impressed, Mr. Sullivan. Aren't you, Herbert?
Well, let's face facts, Mr. Gillis. A boy with a mechanical knack is going to fool around with cars anyway. He might as well do it safely.
What mechanical knack? This kid tried to fix an appliance in the kitchen last week.
So?
Have you ever had a refrigerator full of barbecued ice cubes?
Well, he'll improve. You'd be surprised what a boy can learn when he's interested.
And I'm plenty interested.
Now, all our club members take the Downshifter Sane Driving Oath, and they remain in good standing until they get their first traffic summons or a demerit on race or show days, and then they're out.
Well...
And our club members are serious and hardworking. There's no oddballs or clowns.
I'll wait in the car.
Showing off.
Mr. Gillis, a lot of what the kids learn here can be useful elsewhere, and they learn fast because they're in healthy competition. Now, look at them. They're getting their cars ready for our big original design contest.
The member who comes up with the best new design for a car wins that big trophy, Dad.
Man, with that hunk of hardware, I could open my own hock shop.
My, some of these cars are adorable.
Well, there's the Chatsworth Osborne Special, last year's winner.
Also, the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. I would retire the cup, but my trophy shelf is so crowded. Son, you think you can beat that Chatsworth
Osborne Jr., and I've got a scheme that's guaranteed to win.
Yeah, it's called Zelda Gilroy.
Okay, then you got my permission. And don't let nothing stop you.
The entrance fee is $25.
You have just been stopped. No, I'm not even going to let that stop you. Here. Son, there's just one thing. If you don't beat him...
Yeah, Dad, if I don't beat him?
You wouldn't dare.
Here are my plans, so knock them dead.
Yeah, here's mine.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Beautiful, Maynard, but they're no longer building cars with 4 sets of fins.
Yeah, especially with 2 of them through the middle of the driver's seat.
Well, I was searching for a new look, but my plan's like flexible.
Yeah. Go ahead, Zelda.
Well, first of all, we need a mill,
A mill?
a power plant, an engine.
Oh, they cost money.
Why don't we build it on top of a hill and push?
We can get a wild V8 engine for nothing.
Oh, where?
Here, we'll get it.
It's at the bottom of Bass Lake.
Thanks a lump.
I can't swim.
It belonged to my cousin.
The water gives me goosebumps.
He parked it on the pier and the emergency brake slipped.
I can't even wade.
Don't worry, I'll get it. You fellas are going after the frame and the wheels. Now look, here's a list of junkyards.
Hey, I know these places. I got like a decorator's discount.
Well, let's get going. We gotta get to work.
Maynard. If I didn't learn anything, I learned one thing from this experience. A car's more than just a rag, a bone, and a hank of hair. I mean, to make the doggone things work, you've got to start from the bottom and build, build, build. Boy, do you have to build. Just the car, please. Just the car, please, Maynard.
Man, I wish we had an engine.
Yeah.
Dope, I'm pooped.
So am I, Maynard. But it's worth it. Good, hard, solid, honest work. Maynard, cut that out.
Hello, Dobie.
Hi, Charlotte.
I hear you're building a car. How fascinating.
Yeah.
So, Dobie, you are the newest member of the Downshifters Club.
That's right, Chatsworth, and I'm going to win that original design trophy. I'm going to beat you or anybody else who stands in my way.
Well, how gloriously democratic. That's the spirit that made this country what it is today. The hope for greatness, no matter how lowly the circumstances of birth and breeding.
Chatsworth, if we knew what that meant, we'd be mad.
May the better man win, Gillis, baby. And after I do, I shall be becomingly modest, or as we put it, Osborne-ish. Shall we away to lunch at the club, dear child?
Please, that Chatsworth Osborne Jr. One of these days he's going to get his.
His what?
I don't know, but when I figure it out, he's sure going to
get it.
Well, team, it was a tough struggle, but I got our engine. And 14 feet of water.
That's our engine?
Oh, it'll look better when we unpack it from that crazy-looking Excelsior.
Maynard, that's seaweed.
No kidding?
Yeah.
She's right, good buddy. Excelsier's like saltier.
Yeah. Zelda, do you think it'll run?
Well, if I didn't catch the bends diving for it, we'll soon find out.
whiz. It's marvelous.
It's like beautiful.
It's smashing.
Will it run?
Killjoy.
Don't let him ruffle you, Coopsie. It'll run.
You're sure?
You have my word as a lady. And as a brilliant, attractive mechanical genius.
I confess its appearance is passably chic, Gillis, baby. But a car without a perfectly working engine is rather like a human being without a brain. No offense, Maynard.
Go slow as stock or bomb, Chatsworth.
Maynard, that's Bond, but you've got the right idea. Let's start her up, Zelda.
Okay.
Contact! Everybody stand back like clear the decks, but take it off like gangers!
Calm down. We're just going to start the motor.
That's what my Uncle Malcolm said the first time he started his new car. Then him and the car ended up 6 blocks down the street in a cantaloupe bin in the supermarket.
Now, that couldn't possibly happen here. Everything's under my personal supervision.
Yeah.
Dobie, prepare to blast off.
Aye, aye, sir.
Keep out of my poor ways. I well remember my own early struggles when I was just a raw kid from the right side of the tracks. My staff shall work through the night. To the ready room.
Yes, Adrian, together we can conquer the world.
Yes, Zelda, yes, my attractive mechanical genius. I was a heel. You're wondering how I could be so dishonest to a wonderful girl like Zelda.
Dobie, if you win that award, I'm gonna kiss you and hug you and just never stop.
Does that answer your question? It was too late to be bothered by my conscience. The time for action was here.
Your attention, please. Your attention. We have completed the preliminary judging and the time trials. And the finalists in the original design contest for the Downshifters Trophy are the cars designed by Mr. Chatsworth Osborne Jr.
Here, here.
And Mr. Dobie Gillis.
I like the windshield.
And team. Now, the judges will now give these two entries their final inspection. Now, at my signal, will the drivers please start their engines so we may see them in action? Mr. Osborne, we will check your entry first.
Gentlemen, may I call your attention to the handmade platinum-plated cylinder heads? Chrome plating is becoming so passé, don't you agree?
I'm worried, Maynard. Chatsworth's car's a real beauty.
Just relax, Dobie.
Hey, let's sneak over there and hack it up with an ice pick a little. Him too.
Maynard, if we win, it's not going to be by cheating.
Why not?
There are too many people around and we'd get caught. Yeah.
Dobie.
Ah, Charlotte, your loveliness makes the beauty of my car pale into nothingness.
Dobie, I'm so sure you're going to win.
You have inspired me to these heights, my sweet.
Don't.
After my victory, what say we go over to the malt shop and drink exotic sodas out of my trophy?
Fabulous.
Don't. Maynard, please. All the ingenuity and brain power that went into this magnificent piece of machinery was for you, my love. Keep that thought.
See you later, my champion.
Yes, yes. Farewell, my inspiration. Oh, she's exquisite.
Yeah, and she's mad.
What? Zelda! Zelda! Look, Zelda. Zelda, look.
Now cut that out!
What? Zelda?
Hold this.
What are you doing, Zelda? Zelda, you can't.
Dobie, I can.
Good buddy, she did.
He's right. It was lighter under 14 feet of water.
Hey, Dobe, I got an idea.
What?
Let's cut out, like, instantly.
Bad thinking.
I got, like, another idea.
What? Here. Maynard. Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Yeah, fine. Now, what if they ask us to start the motor?
Uh-huh. Then
What?
you're like dead.
Maynard.
Well.
A very fine piece of work, Mr. Osborne.
Naturally. Now, may I have the winner's trophy now, or must we go through the hollow mockery of inspecting Gillis's little bauble?
Well, it is customary.
Ooh, I will hollow mockery you.
Mr. Gillis, will you start your engine, please?
Yeah, Mr. Sullivan, would you repeat that question?
Well, I asked if you would please start the motor.
Oh, yeah. Is there any chance we could call this game on account of rain?
Don't be scared, boy. You come from a long line of winners. Look at me.
Get behind that wheel and start your engine.
Yes, sir. Say, would you believe me if I said I get car sick?
The
You
engine.
wouldn't believe me. No, I didn't think so. No.
Excellent. Now rev it up a little more.
How very odd. There doesn't seem to be any exhaust. Oh, my son, rats.
Remarkable. There's absolutely no vibration. All right, Mr. Gillis, you may turn the motor off now.
Yes, sir.
Turn it off! Off!
Yes, sir. I'm trying to turn it off.
Judges. Your attention, please. The judges, after careful study of the two final entries, have decided that the winner is Mr. Dobie Gillis.
Friends, I'm deeply honored by this great tribute. At such a time, I can only say thanks. I owe my success to careful planning, to Yankee ingenuity, and above all to the courage, loyalty, and determination of my engine. Well, I won the trophy. I won Charlotte, too. Every day I took her out riding in my car. And brother, it was the end. Where'd I get a motor for the car? Zelda gave it back to me. She's all heart, that Zelda. Sweet, noble, decent, self-sacrificing. Me, on the other hand, well, I'm kind of a, well, sort of, let me put it to you this way. I'm a rat. Well, where shall we speed today, my swift dove?
I don't want to hurt your feelings, Dobie, but I'm getting kind of bored with this rod. It's not fast enough.
Oh, it can outrace any car in the Downshifters Club.
But it doesn't compare with a boat. Skimming like the wind across the water is my idea of heaven. Ooh.
Oh, maybe so, but who can afford anything like that?
Anchors away, shipmates.
Beat it, Chatsworth. Charlotte and I want to be alone.
Oh, hush up, low-born person. Charlotte, baby, this little trinklet idles at 200 miles an hour.
Chatsworth.
Charlotte, I worked Maynard half to death on that car just for you.
I'm just awful, I know. How thrilling, 200 miles an hour.
Well, we were running against the wind.
Fine.
The race is to the swift, earthbound one. Fidelio, full steam ahead.
Hi, Dobie. Where's Charlotte?
Never mind.
She dumped you, huh?
She did not. It was, sort of,
She dumped you.
she dumped.
Why fight it, Poopsie? It'll always be you and me. And you won't regret it because I am brilliant. Also beautiful and desirable.
Skimming like the wind across the water is my idea of heaven. Ooh la la.
That's true, Zelda. You are brilliant.
And beautiful and
Beautiful and
desirable.
desirable, yeah. Tell me, Zelda, do you know anything about, speedboats?
Speedboats? You know, it's funny you should ask, Sniffins. It's my next field to conquer.
No.
Yeah, you see.
Christmas past.
And I am the ghost of Christmas future.
Christmas? Bah! Humbug!
Scrooge, you cannot turn your back on your fellow man. You will die lonely and friendless and miserable unless you learn the error of your ways.
Oh, perish for bed spirits, not that. No longer will I say, Christmas, bah, humbug. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year.
So be it, Scrooge.
So be it, Scrooge.
And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well if any man alive possessed that knowledge. And may that be truly said of us and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone.
That, my young gluttons for punishment, was Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Forgive us, Charlie. Thank you, students. You may be seated. You were, interesting.
Yes, I was rather, wasn't I?
Class, as you have seen, Dickens ingeniously employs ghostly spirits to show Ebenezer Scrooge just how lonely his future Christmases will be unless he changes his ways. Now, tell me, how would you describe the character Scrooge at the beginning of the story?
A pitiful creature.
A wretched clod.
A miserable wreck.
You rang?
Dobie! Dobie!
There are some people in this town who say that my friend Maynard G. Krebs is peculiar, odd, eccentric, weird, strange. I'm one of those people. But there's a difference. You see, I love Maynard, and I never laugh at him. I cry at him pretty often, but laugh? No.
I'm almost ready for class, Mr. Pomfret, sir.
Fine, but we have a problem.
Yeah?
Class was dismissed 10 minutes ago. Somewhere between the second muffler and the Mackinaw.
I goofed again. I'm nothing but a goof artist.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Maynard.
I'm not a goof artist?
I wouldn't say that either.
I haven't done nothing right since I was born.
Oh, now, Maynard.
Well, I didn't even do that right. I was supposed to be a girl.
Maynard.
For 2 years, my father called me Sylvia.
Maynard!
I don't even like the name. Elspeth, maybe? Or Gwyneth? But
Maynard,
Sylvia?
please!
Even Felicia would be...
Maynard! Enough, enough. Now, look, Maynard, my boy. Has it ever occurred to you that perhaps you're trying too hard to please everybody by being a clown, a Pagliacci?
Polly who?
Pagliacci. He was a character in a... Never mind. What I'm trying to say, Maynard, is you don't have to attract attention to yourself by being odd and different. Why not just try to be one of the gang?
How could I do that, Mr. Pomfret, sir? I mean, they go out on dates, and they go to dances, and they throw parties and like that. I couldn't do none of them things.
Who said you can't?
Me, I just said it. Didn't you hear me?
Maynard, I mean, what's to prevent you from, say, giving a party, inviting your friends over, giving them some refreshments? Show them that you, Maynard G. Krebs, are just as good as the next fellow.
Me? Maynard G. Krebs throw a party? Yeah, I could do it. Oh, a swinging Christmas party with popcorn and a tree and like deck the halls and bobbing for apples and setting off firecrackers and...
Firecrackers? For Christmas?
Yeah, that's Halloween. I'm gonna do it, Mr. Pomfret, sir. I'm gonna throw the swingingest bash Central High School has ever saw.
Now, just a minute, Chatsworth. Just a darn minute. What makes you so sure I want to come to your party?
Oh, you'll be there, Gillis, baby. Just wait till I bewitch you with a list of entertainers.
Oh, sure, sure. I bet you're going to have Peggy Lee, Tommy Sands, Dinah Shore, and Frank Sinatra singing a quartet with background music by Thelonious Monk and the Kingston Trio.
They're for the intermission show. Now guess who we're having for the main entertainment?
Never mind.
You know, we aristocratic Osborns traditionally rub elbows with the peasantry once each year at this sort of outing. Something to do with democracy or some such. Ho, 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 Gillis, baby. See you Christmas Eve. And as for a present, don't bother to bring anything inexpensive. On, Rudolph.
Oh, that Chatsworth Osborne Jr. makes me so mad.
Mad schmad. We're going to his party and don't argue.
Zelda, you gotta be joshing. Who wants to spend Christmas Eve with a bunch of conceited characters who run around with their noses up in the air?
The noses may be in the air, Dobie, but they're important noses, and you need them.
I need their noses?
Let's face facts, Poopsie.
Yeah, pray let's.
You, my sweet, lovable, warm-hearted, incompetent fumble fingers, are in trouble.
Oh, now hold on,
Quiet,
Zelda.
boy, I'm saving you from the soup kitchens. Look, Dobie, physically, you're almost 18 years old, an adult. But mentally, you're still in diapers.
No, now listen, Zelda.
Silence. Are you a scholar? No. Are you a businessman? No. Are you talented? No. Are you ever going to be a whopping success?
No.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, because you have one hidden quality. People like you.
They do?
I do, and I'm highly perceptive. Together we will turn Dobie Gillis, the formless blob of mediocrity, into Dobie Gillis, the whopping success. We'll cash in on your one worthwhile quality and keep you off the dole.
How, Zelda? How?
By putting you in with the proper people, important people, influential people, people who will like you and who will shove you up the ladder of achievement.
Oh, go, Zelda, go.
Now, look, the Osborns mix only with the highest type people, ambassadors, millionaires, tycoons, and you're gonna dive right smack into the mixture.
Oh, I will.
Stick with me and we'll make beautiful music together, Poopsie.
Zelda, now cut that No, even that isn't going to keep me away from Chatsworth's Christmas Eve party. Nothing's going to keep me away. Nothing.
Hey, Dobe, guess who's throwing a party on Christmas Eve?
We already heard about it. Chatsworth Osborne Jr.
No, Maynard G. Krebs.
You, Maynard?
Sure, how many Maynard G. Krebses do you know?
On Christmas Eve?
Sure, yeah, I'm through being a clown of Pagliaccio. I'm gonna throw the wildest wingding any garage in this town has ever saw.
In a garage?
Yeah, I talked to my father. It's the only part of the house he'll let me have. Well, what's like going with a party in a garage when you string like popcorn on the grease rack and colored lights and the oil cans and lots of yaks, huh? And I'll drag down my record player, and I already spent my allowance for the next year and a half on food and soda pop and stuff like that. But what's money?
Maynard.
And I invite a lot of kids I like and some I don't like, but on Christmas Eve it ain't nice to hate nobody.
Zelda?
You gotta tell them.
Maynard, I can't come to your party. I've got the future to think about. I've got to start making contacts. That's why I can't turn down the invitation to Chatsworth's party.
Chatsworth's party? Oh, man, you gotta be kidding. Crazy.
Now, Maynard, stop that.
Well, I'd like to stay here and make jolly few cats all day, but I gotta go finish getting everything ready for the blast.
Maynard.
Boy, and money's no object. I'm very large at the dime store, yeah.
Maynard, listen.
Please,
You see, 8 o'clock Christmas Eve, and you don't have to bring me a present, but naturally you will.
Boy, what a problem. And what a headache. For 3 days I sat on it. On the problem, not the headache. You see, I had to figure out which is more important. Getting ahead in the world or friendship. Yeah, this is a very deep question, and it ought to be answered by some of the giant minds of our society. By a Supreme Court judge or Dr. Schweitzer or Jack Parr. But here I was stuck with it, and I had nobody to go to for help.
What do you mean, nobody? Son, just remember, whenever you got a problem, your good old dad is never too busy to lend a hand. Anytime.
Gee, thanks, Dad. I've got this problem now that I could sure use some help with.
Later, can't you see I'm busy?
Dad, you said you'd help me.
That'll teach me to volunteer. Okay, boy, what's ailing you?
Well, it's an ethical problem, and I don't want you to jump to a conclusion until you've heard all the pros and cons.
Stop beating around the bush. What subject are you flunking?
I'm not flunking anything. This is about Maynard.
Maynard? Oh, you need a Supreme Court judge or Dr. Schweitzer or Jack Parr.
Dad, Maynard's invited me to a party at his house.
Enjoy yourself, son.
But maybe I shouldn't go.
Maybe not.
Because I've also been invited to a party that Chatsworth Osborne Jr.'s throwing.
Oh, that's nice. Enjoy yourself,
But
son.
maybe I shouldn't go to that one either.
Maybe not.
I have to decide which is more important, Maynard's friendship or the important contacts I'll make if I go to Chatsworth's.
Remember, boy, the most important thing in this world is friendship.
Then you advise me to forget about Chatsworth's party and go to Maynard's?
What? If a fellow don't look out for number one, who's going to do it for him? Get what I mean?
You mean I should go to Chatsworth's because I'll meet the right people there?
Remember, friendship is more valuable than gold.
I should go to Maynard's?
But to get ahead, it isn't what you know, it's who you know.
I should go to Chatsworth's?
Remember, a friend in need is a friend indeed.
Maynard's?
But if you are going to go far, hitch your wagon to a star.
Chatsworth's?
Just remember, son, many a man has ridden to success on the coattails of his important friends.
Chatsworth's?
To win a friend, be one.
Maynard?
Well, any more questions, son?
Just one.
Shoot.
What do I do about the party tonight?
What do you mean, what do you do? You just follow the advice I've been giving you. That's what you do. And remember, anytime you need help, just call on your good old helpful dad.
Hello, Dobie.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Dear, I know you were worried about something. Did your father help you answer your problem?
I'm not sure, but there must have been an answer buried in there someplace. I'm going upstairs and lie down a while before the party. Who are you?
I'm not a who. I'm a what?
Leave me alone, please.
I'm like a ghost.
What do you want with me?
I'm like an all-purpose ghost. Whenever I say the magic words, I change into the spirit of Christmas past. Doggone, I forgot the magic words. Well, I guess I'll have to change in the spirit of Christmas past the hard way.
Please, Spirit, no.
Quiet, Earth boy, I'm gonna make the switch. Like, behold.
Yeah, I remember that Christmas past. We were about 4 years old. Maynard had just flunked out of nursery school for the 3rd time. Fella's got to think about his future, his career, what's to become of it.
He's also got to think about what's going to become of his good buddy. And when his good buddy is Maynard G. Krebs, man, that takes a lot of thinking.
But, Spirit, can't I forget about him?
Forget your good buddy? For shame, Dobie Scrooge. You must now witness the miserable result of your miserable wretchedness. Ahoy, I will now become the spirit of Christmas future. Hey, I remembered the magic words. Abba-dabba-doo-doo, this'll suit ya. I'm now the spirit of Christmas future.
Good evening, Zelda, my dear. Good evening, Zelda, my dear. Yeah, Tremblay, tell Mrs. Gillis that Mr. Gillis says, good evening, Zelda, my dear.
As you say so. Good evening, Zelda, my dear.
Well, hi, Poopsie. Tremblay, tell Mr. Gillis.
As you wish, madam.
Now cut that out!
Dobie, dear, we've been invited to dinner at the Montmorencys tomorrow night.
Oh? Are they interesting?
Fascinating.
Are they amusing?
Oh, terribly.
Can they advance my career?
No.
Forget them.
That's my Dobie. Onward and upward to contacts and success and successful contacts.
Tremblay, where's the main course? Oh. When I've got money, who needs food? Or friends? Or anything?
Tremblay, at the window, what is that?
Sir, whatever it is, it defies description. I'd best set the dogs on it.
Oh, no, Tremblay, the poor waif looks familiar, especially around the beard and sweatshirt.
Ridiculous. How could you, a moneyed Gillis, know such a creature?
You're right, of course, my dear Zelda. Tremblay, chase him off the premises. I refuse to be bothered with people who cannot advance my career.
That's the spirit, Buster.
Merry Christmas to you all.
Maynard, come back. Maynard, I didn't mean to snub you. Maynard.
Oh, Mom.
Dobie, what is it, Dobie?
Oh, I guess I was having a dream. It was awful.
Oh, well, you'll feel better once you get to Chatsworth's party. I pressed your suit for you.
Oh, thanks, Mom, but about Chatsworth's
I'll be
party.
so proud. My handsome son, mingling with all those important people, meeting friends who really amount to something.
Mom.
Your dad and I are just plain people, Dobie, but it makes us so very happy to know that our son is accepted and liked by the Osborns and their friends.
Mom, listen.
When you get back from the party, promise to wake me up and tell me all about it. Every detail, mind you, no matter how late it is.
Sure, Mom. I promise.
Ah, the fair Zelda and Dobie do.
Yeah, Zelda thought it'd be rather an amusing little lark.
Oh, mon cher Dobie, I scarcely think amusing is the proper word to describe an Osborne party.
Oh, jazzy?
Please.
Jolly?
Well, hardly.
Sporty?
Try expensive.
Expensive?
That's the word. And just par exemple, voila.
Boy, that's sure a lot of voila.
Man, I hope this isn't too fancy. I don't look like no show-off. No, Maynard. You must be the perfect mine host. Save the popcorn for your hungry good buddies. Boy, they'll be like clomping in here any minute now. I wonder where they are.
Dobie, who was that distinguished-looking man you were talking to?
Oh, some lawyer friend of the Osbornes. He wants me to call him in case I ever decide to become an attorney.
How marvelous. All these smashing contacts. Big, valuable.
Yeah, big, valuable.
Oh, good buddies. Like, welcome. Oh, like, hi. Hey. Merry Christmas, Cat. No offense, but you better leave, because my good friends are going to be here any second. No, don't go, Cat. It's like lonesome here all alone. But I'm absolutely positively, definitely positive my good friends are like unavoidably detained. Probably. So we'll wait here together, huh, Cat? Atta, Cat. Happy Yuletide, Cat.
Uncle Midas, one must concede that Gillis here springs from peasant stock, but he is hardworking and conscientious in his own dreary way. Perhaps you should talk to him about going to work in one of your banks.
Dobie, what's the matter with you? All these sensational contacts and you stand around with all the personality of a wet noodle.
Zelda, my heart just isn't in it.
I don't care about your heart. It's your teeth I want to see. Smiling. Now get back in there and make with the charm. Show Uncle Midas you're the kind of man his bank can't get along without.
Let me out of here. Let me out. Let me out.
Don't be afraid. Uncle Midas is no different from any other fabulously wealthy tycoon.
Zelda, can't you see that...
Come on, Dobie.
Meanwhile, you and me, Cat, we'll celebrate Christmas. Like Hamburg?
Dobie, snap out of it. Now look, that fellow over there talking to Chatsworth, his father is the plastic lamination king.
Oh, boy.
Shape up, boy. We're gonna meet him.
Merry Christmas.
There. You gotta be kidding.
Dobie, have you slipped your trolley altogether? Come on.
Merry Christmas.
Zelda. Zelda.
Merry Christmas.
Gillis.
Christmas. Like Hamburg? You sure you want to stay, Cat? I mean, you probably got friends waiting for you down at the city dump for the big Christmas Eve blowout. I mean, it's Christmas Eve and everybody's got friends waiting. Christmas. Like Himbug?
Dobie, speak to me, Poopsie.
Gillis, old cabbage, you look as if you've just seen a ghost.
I just saw myself.
Even worse.
Oh, hush up, Chatsworth.
Look, I don't belong here. Sure, this party's a big smash and we're all having a gay old time, but there's somebody missing. A friend of ours. A fella who always goes out of his way to help, who'd give you the sweatshirt off his back if you ask for it. He's waiting for us right now, but we let him down. He's waiting for the people he thought he could call his friends, us. He's waiting for his best friend, me, because I let him down worse than anybody. Look, I don't know about the rest of you, but Christmas Eve isn't only caviar and fancy decorations and truffles and like that. It's a night you ought to spend with your friends. And that's where I'm going right now, to my friend's party, if he'll still call me his friend.
Dobie, wait!
No, Zelda, my mind's made up.
I'm going with you, you idiot. I had no right to try and make you dump poor Maynard.
Oh, Zelda, I love you.
You heard him! You heard! Hey, you heard! You wait a second.
Zelda.
You heard him. Everybody heard him. Don't forget.
Zelda.
Don't forget this night.
Zelda. Now cut that out. Zelda.
Zelda.
Old Chatsworth Osborne Jr. His party ain't the only one that's got entertainment. We got it too. George Shearing, Hank Mancini, Dizzy Gillespie. Goodbye, old Diz. Well, those are the breaks. Hey! Hey, did you hear that, Cat? I dropped the platter, so I said those. Nothing. Yeah, you're right. It's like Grimmy.
You're a good buddy.
I just did it.
Oh, thanks, Maynard. Thanks, good buddy.
Hey, let's start on the food. I'm starving.
Oh, well, we got some popcorn, sort of soggy, and some peanuts kind of stale, and hot dogs with icicles. Name your choice.
Well, on second thought, I better not. I always eat too much during the holidays anyway, Maynard.
The only thing missing is the entertainment. I understand the Osborns are planning to put on quite a show.
Oh, yes? Well, it just happens that we have entertainment,
We
too.
have?
Nothing
Oh.
but the best.
Oh.
Dobie,
Oh.
sing.
Gee,
And you better just sing. Here, honey, you play the guitar.
Yes.
I don't know, Dad.
Your singing lesson set me back $24. Now sing, boy, and sing loud. I want to get my money's worth.
I pass your house every day. I pass your house and I pray. I pray that you still love me true. Love me as I love you. I pass your house every night. I see your silhouette in the light. I pray my love will see you through till I'm again with you.
Ghost. Pretty noisy ones. I can't hear my $24 worth of singing lessons. Hey, you out there, quiet!
But of course, Dobie do. You observe how the Christmas spirit overwhelms the average citizen. So you can imagine the shattering effect when it strikes an Osborne. Attention there. We shall now sing another chorus of that jovial Yuletide chanson.
Chanson?
Mm-hmm. You will follow my beat precisely. Decked all with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la
Ho, 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 ho. Like Merry Christmas, Mr. Gillis.
And ho, 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 and a Merry Christmas to you, Maynard.
Oh, and a very Merry Christmas to you, good buddy.
The same to you, Maynard. Always.
Dinner's ready. Come and get it.
Nobody can roast a turkey like you, Winnie.
Maynard, you stay and have dinner with us, won't you?
You talked me into it, Mrs. G.
Yeah, come on, Maynard.
Boys, aren't you coming?
You better start without us, Mom. I'm waiting for my best buddy.
A man who is willful and vital and strong.
That was Yvette. Kind of a spooky girl, huh? And way off the beam. I mean, the kind of rough, tough, rock-headed man she's talking about just doesn't exist anymore. except in horror movies.
For 23 years, I've been an independent grocer, and for 23 years, those crumb bums have been robbing me. There's only one way to treat lowlifes like that. Kick them out in the street, rough them up, knock a few teeth out.
That was my father, a simple, gentle, home-loving, outspoken man. Now, what's he got to do with that French crepe Suzette? Good question. And if you're looking for a good answer...
I myself prefer the man who treats me rough, who yell at me, who treats me like the beast of the jungle treat his mate.
Winnie, I am telling you that this is a dog-eat-dog world. The only people who die here are people who act like
tigers. See this book? It's called How to Hypnotize Your Friends for Fun and Profit. And it's really interesting. It's also part of the reason my father got fouled up with this female Maurice Chevalier. You wouldn't think paper and a little ink could blow up such a hurricane.
Dobie, you are not developing. You are not using your mind. You are not fulfilling your promise. You are not being true to yourself.
Mom, I was just playing a little music.
Fine. You want to play music, you play good music.
Like madrigals?
Like madrigals, like fugues, like etudes, like nocturnes.
Fugues, etudes, nocturnes.
You see, you don't even know what they mean.
Good thinking.
Maybe if you'd read a book occasionally, you'd learn a few words. When's the last time you read a book?
It just so happens I read a book last night.
Oh? What was that?
Oh, just a book.
What was the title, Dobie?
How to Hypnotize Your Friends.
Where on earth did you get a ridiculous piece of junk like that?
Dad gave it to me.
It happens to be a very interesting book. Winnie, one of the guys down at the lodge gave it to me.
Oh, I see. You got it from one of your learned colleagues at the lodge. Which one? The one that collects old license plates, or the one who spends the summer vacation trying to beat the flagpole sitting record?
Now, just a darn minute. Those are great guys, and every man jack of them is a veteran.
Oh, Herbert, I know they are great guys.
Yeah, they're my kind of guys. After all, I ain't no Albert Einstein, you know.
You sure ain't, Dad.
You butt out.
Herbert, I know you are not Albert Einstein.
And you, by the way, don't happen to be Madame Curie either.
That's right. You are not Professor Einstein, and I am not Madame Curie. But just because we are a couple of dull, ordinary people, does that mean that Dobie has to be too?
Oh, I don't think you're dull and ordinary, Mom. Or you either, Dad.
Thanks, boy.
Well, maybe a little dull and ordinary. But you're my parents who gave me birth and walked the floor with me when I was little and fed me and clothed me and raised me to manhood. And I'm not going to turn my back on you no matter what anybody says.
You're all right, son.
He is not all right. He's stagnating. His mind is shriveling up like a prune. Look what he reads, How to Hypnotize Your Friends. Why don't you read Shakespeare, Dickens, Shelley?
What for? School's out this week.
But you see, to our son, literature is a chore, not a beautiful, rewarding experience. The boy has no appreciation at all for culture.
Mom, maybe I don't have any appreciation for culture, but my posture's good, and I've got a lot of friends, and I'm happy. And that's the most important thing, isn't it?
Yes, Dobie, that's a very important thing, but it is also important to enrich your mind and exalt your soul. And we are not going to delay another minute. Get your coat. You are coming with me.
I am?
You certainly are. I was on my way to my club, but I remember reading in the paper that there's a touring exhibit of LeBlanc at the County Museum, and I have just decided that we are going.
Oh, well, gee, Mom, there's nothing in the world I'd rather do, but I got some plans for this afternoon.
What plans?
Well, you see, Maynard and I figured we'd go downtown and watch this fella toss flapjacks in the window.
Oh, he's great, isn't he?
Boy, but he is coming with me to the touring LeBlanc exhibit.
Right, son. You are going with your mother, and I don't want to pry, but what is a touring LeBlanc exhibit?
Yeah.
LeBlanc just happens to be one of the world's great French painters, that's all. And he is touring the country with a collection of his paintings.
Oh, no, you don't. We have raised this boy up to be a fine, decent, upstanding, all-American boy, and he isn't going anywhere to look at any French pictures.
Thank you.
I am shocked. Do you want him to go on the way he is? Ignorant, dull, stupid, wishy-washy, slack, uninformed?
You rang?
Oh, hi, Maynard.
Like hi, good buddy. Like hi, Mrs. G. Like hi, Mr. G.
No, it's only you, Maynard.
It's only you, Maynard. It's only you. That's what everybody says when I come in. It's only you. It's only you.
Maynard, I didn't mean it that
Sure,
way.
nobody means nothing. All they do is treat me like dirt. It's only you, Maynard. Do they ever say, how are you, Maynard? Do they ever say, welcome, Maynard? Do they ever say, glad to see you, Maynard? No. Only you, Maynard. That's all they ever say. Well, I'd rather have someone say, get out, Maynard.
Get out, Maynard.
You're joshing, ain't you, Mrs. G?
No, dear, I mean it. Maynard, you know I'm very fond of you. You've never heard me say it's only you, Maynard.
Like true.
But, dear, we are having a little private family discussion, so if you wouldn't mind just getting out.
All the way out?
All the way out.
What do I like to do out there?
Well, you could eat a banana. You like bananas?
Like, yeah. We'll have to wait like long?
Just a few minutes.
Oh. Well, I eat like all fast, Mrs. G.
These will hold you, Maynard.
Thanks, Mrs. G.
Right, goodbye, Maynard.
Like cool.
That wasn't very kind, Mom. I mean, Maynard's got feelings like everybody else.
I know it, dear, and I didn't enjoy pushing him out of here. Maynard is a dear, sweet, well-meaning boy, and I know that you couldn't find a more loyal friend.
That's right. He sticks with me through thick and thin. Anywhere I go, he goes.
Which is precisely the trouble.
Huh?
Dear, I know how close you and Maynard are, but wouldn't it be nice if you saw somebody else for a little while? Somebody a little more cultured, perhaps.
You want me to dump Maynard? Never. As long as there's breath in my body, Maynard's got a friend.
Yay, good buddy, yay.
Oh, no, Mom, he reads lips.
He reads lips?
Yeah, he sent for this course. There was a coupon in back of a comic book, see, and he sent it away and got this course. And he learned it all by himself. So it just isn't fair to go around saying my friend Maynard isn't cultured. Come on, Maynard. On the way to the Flapjacks, we can stop off at the gas station and watch him wash cars.
Oh, dear, I didn't mean to upset Dobie. I don't want him to give up, Maynard. I only want him to find some friends who are interested in literature, art, and music.
What are people like that they want with Dobie?
Somewhere, somehow, Dobie has got to find a cultured friend. He's got to, that's all. He's just got to.
Where are you going?
To the LeBlanc exhibit. At least one member of this family's going to sop up some culture. And I shall try to pass it on to your son.
Well, have fun.
Herbert, I have a wonderful idea. Why don't you come with me?
Madame, did you like the painting?
Well, yes, indeed, yes. It's magnificent.
Of course, the artist is a genius.
Oh, yes. It's so...
Je ne sais quoi.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
But we have other masterpieces over here. And also, may I present myself? I'm Aristide Leblanc.
Not the painter.
Yes, c'est moi.
Oh, goodness, this is an honor.
I would say.
Oh.
And may I ask your name, gracious lady?
Oh, Mrs. Herbert T. Gillis.
Enchanté.
Moi aussi.
You speak French?
Well, I took a bit in high school.
Ah, combien je suis heureux et fortuné de trouver quelqu'un qui parle les sons de mon pays dans cette terre barbare. Qui donc, parmi ces sauvages, pourrait être aussi natal et vrai, n'est-ce pas?
Yes, isn't it?
Quoi?
Perhaps we had better stick to English, Signor.
Signor?
I mean, it's so long since I was in high school.
Oh, it can't have been so long, a lady as young as yourself.
Oh, Signor, you are enchanté.
Possibly.
Well, it certainly is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Signor. Tell me, are you enjoying your visit to our country?
Eh bien, on does what one can to improve one's relations with one's allies, n'est-ce pas?
Oh, yes, Pa. And how long are you going to stay?
Oh, 2-3 months, perhaps.
Is that all?
Well, one has to return one's daughter to the school.
Oh, you have your little girl here.
Not so little. She has 17 years.
You have a daughter, 17 years old?
Yes, and a wife, Elak, 45.
Your daughter, would you say she was a cultured girl?
But of course, is she not my daughter?
Signor, I bet I know what you and your family would like.
And what would that be?
A nice, simple, home-cooked American meal.
Sacré bleu.
Oh, I thought so. Well, we'll ride around the corner and we'll expect you. Gillis's grocery, we live upstairs.
No, madam.
Oh, nonsense. You know you love it. Now, you be there.
What can one say?
Splendid. We eat at 5:30.
Mm-hmm. Lunch.
Dinner.
Quel barbarisme.
And, of course, you'll bring your daughter. I promise you she won't be bored. I have a son her age, Dobie.
Dopey?
Dobie with a B. A fine boy, so intelligent, so sensitive, so cultured.
That's it, good buddy. Keep the lips nice and loose. You're doing fine, though. Let's try one, huh?
Okay, Maynard.
And I appreciate this. You taking all this time to help me practice lip reading.
Ah, forget it, Maynard. What are friends for?
Oh, you're 100%, though. Now, you go over there where I can't hear you and talk nice and slow, but not loud enough for me to hear, okay?
Okay, Maynard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Dobe, I'm ready.
Here goes.
I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree.
A penny saved is a penny earned. Right, though?
No, Maynard.
Sure, I knew it. Try another one.
Shoot if you must this old gray head, but spare my country's flag, she said.
The quick brown fox jumped over the big dog. Great, huh?
Maynard.
Hey, they're too easy this way. Watch me do the next one the hard way.
Maynard.
Go ahead, Dobe, I'm ready.
Maynard, I hate to say this, but you don't know how to read lips.
The boy stood on the burning deck eating peanuts by the peck. Wonderful, huh, Dobe?
That's what it was, Maynard. Wonderful.
Yeah, and some people say I got no talent. How come?
Jealousy, Maynard. Pure jealousy.
Couldn't you find something a little more conservative?
For your information, Mrs. Gillis, this happens to be a hand-painted tie. And he is a hand painter, ain't he?
Hi, Mom.
Oh, you look lovely, dear.
Thanks. Hey, Mom, I got to cut and run right after dinner. Maynard's waiting for me down on River Street. They're bringing a whole slew of steam shovels over to start excavating the foundation for the new city dump.
The new city
So
dump
we
will
figured-
just have to wait.
we-
You will stay here and be polite to our cultured guest, Signor LeBlanc, and his wife and daughter.
His daughter? How old is she?
About your age.
Hey, a French girl about my age? Oh, boy. Hey, Mom, you're all right. No offense, Mom, but this girl, she wouldn't be stuffed with culture and education and all like that, would she?
It's possible.
Mom, admit it. You're trying to clobber me with culture.
All right, it's true. I'm not ashamed of it. If you won't make any effort to improve yourself, then it's your mother's duty.
Don't fight her, boy. When she gets like this, you can't stop her without you use a gun.
A very large gun. Get the appetizers.
You think she's stubborn? You should have met her father. We used to call him Old Granite Head.
Signors, welcome to my home.
May I have the honor to present my wife and my daughter Yvette?
Enchante, enchante, and enchanté to see you again, Signor. And may I present my husband, Herbert T.
How do you
Oh, likewise, I'm sure.
No, my wife, she doesn't speak the English.
What'd she say?
When do we eat?
Yeah, that a girl, Frenchie. Winnie, why don't we sit down and dig in? My stomach's rolling like a cage full of lions. Well, it's your fault. Your cooking always makes me hungry.
Please,
oh,
Herbert.
she's the best little cook and the most attractive woman in this part of town.
Well, dinner will be served in just a few moments. Meanwhile, I have prepared some delicious hors d'oeuvres. Qu'est-ce qu'il dit?
Bientôt, nous allons manger des hors d'oeuvre.
Aha! Hors d'oeuvre! Quand?
Quand? My wife, she has a great appetite.
Well, don't let it worry you, Buster. There's nothing wrong with a healthy woman, and your wife is one of the healthiest I've seen.
This is my son, Dobie.
Allô?
Mom?
Well, dear, give Madame some appetizers.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I understand that you're a painter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's quite a coincidence. My father was a painter, too.
Oh.
And a paper hanger. Well, shall we sit down?
Oh, no, Yvette, don't you want to sit next to Dobie?
Not unbearably.
What difference does it make where they sit? These things are all the same size.
Tell me, Yvette, are you having a nice time in our country?
Not unbearably.
Yvette, that's a very strange name. How do you spell it?
Y-V-E-T-T-E.
Oh, that's Yvette.
That is Yvette, you species of a goat.
She has high spirits, the little one.
Yes, I can see that, Dobie, dear. Pass the hors d'oeuvres.
yeah, Mom.
Well, tell me, Yvette, are you looking forward to going back to school?
The school is for the children.
You don't like school?
It is the waste of time.
What would you do if you didn't go to school?
One thinks, one involves the philosophy, and then one writes.
Really? You write? How marvelous.
She's had 3 poems published in the Despair Quarterly.
My second triumph of a novel is to appear next month. It is entitled Love is a Broken Gas Main.
And you're only 17.
If one does not have it by the time one is 17, then there can be little hope, can there?
Yvette, why don't you and Dobie go for a walk after dinner? He's terribly interested in literature.
This Dobie?
Me?
I wish you would. You could have a nice talk about literature and books and plays and everything.
Oh, I think not, thank you.
Oh, you'd love it, dear. You and Dobie have so much in common.
Oh, some other time.
I wish you would.
I wish you would, because if you keep arguing, she'll keep arguing, and we'll never get to eat.
Oh, very well.
Splendid. Goodness, dinner must be about ready. Now, if everybody will sit right down, I will bring the pot roast.
Qu'est-ce qu'il dit?
Le dîner est prêt. On va manger ce fameux pot roast.
Ah, le pot roast!
Look here, Yvette. Back home, they're getting dessert. All I'm getting is sore feet. Now, we walked about 60 miles, and you haven't said one word. Now, if we're not going to talk, we could at least sit. I can't think of anything to talk about, can you?
Let us try the literature. You are, I understand, interested in the literature.
No, I'm not interested in the literature. I'm interested in the baseball, in the canoeing, in the tobogganing, in the steak, in the mashed potatoes, and in the girls, but not in the literature.
I have the boredom.
Me too. I have the boredom with earlaps. Let's go home.
Oh, in a moment. First, tell me about your father.
Well, what about him?
Was he always such an animal?
Oh, now, just a minute. Just a darn minute. My father's a taxpayer and a veteran.
He's so wild, so untamed, so savage.
With the good conduct medal. And I'll thank you to keep a civil tongue in your head. Boy, you're an odd one. You bug me. I mean, you just don't make sense. What's all this about writing? And you're all the time so worried and mad and like that. What do you do for chuckles?
Chuckles are for the children.
Well, what do you think you are, an old woman?
It is not the years that make the age. It is the suffering.
Have you been sick or something?
The whole world is sick.
Not me. I feel great.
That is the sickest of all.
Listen, Yvette, I can't paint or write or compose, but just the same, I know a heck of a lot more than you do. I know that the world's not sick. It's full of wonderful things like friendship and fresh air and water sports and love and...
Love?
And...
You species of a muskrat. What do you know of love?
Well, I know it's wonderful.
Oh, sacre bleu, but you are an imbecile. Love is not wonderful. It is miserable. It is full of agony and remorse and hate.
Love is full of hate? Boy, are you kooky.
Oh, kindly defend from speaking to me and take me home as rapidly as possible. For I wish never to regard the stupid face of you again.
That suits me fine, pal.
I have the longest consecutive...
Oh, hello, children.
Well, time to go. Au revoir, madame. Monsieur.
Well, Yvette, did you enjoy your walk?
Oh, yes, madame. It was enchanting. May I come tomorrow and walk with Dobie again?
Why, of course you can, my dear. Come every day. Make this your home away from home.
Oh, thank you, I will. You're very kind,
Come
madame.
early and stay late.
Thank you. Maman, papa, may you say good night. I wish to be here early tomorrow.
At last.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Bonsoir, madame.
Good night, madame. Good night to you.
Bonsoir, madame.
Good
Bonsoir,
night,
Cher Dobie.
Cher Dobie.
Good night, good night. Oh, isn't that marvelous, Dobie? She likes you.
Congratulations, boy, but could you arrange to meet her someplace else? This girl gives me the creeps. Love is a broken gas, me.
Oh, nonsense. She's a delightful girl, and I think it's just marvelous that she's so fond of Dobie.
Are you kidding? She hates me like poison.
Oh, is that so, Smarty? Then why is she coming here tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that?
It bugs me. It really does.
Me too, good buddy.
I just can't figure it out.
The way this little French chick shows up every day?
Yeah, 2 weeks now. She hasn't missed a single day. She gets there in the morning and she hangs around all smiles and sunshine until Mom makes me take her out for a walk. Then as soon as we're alone, she either won't talk to me or else she cusses me in French. In fact, sometimes she kicks me.
Weird.
But the weirdest part of all is, if she hates me so, why does she keep coming back every day?
Hey, Dobe, I got like an idea.
What?
I'll sneak over to her house and peek in one of the windows and find out what she's up to.
Yeah.
You know how good I read lips.
Yeah, Maynard, I know.
Where's she live? I'll go right now.
No, Maynard, thank you, but no.
How come?
Well, it's like eavesdropping, and when somebody's got a great power like you have, they should use it only for good. Now, listen.
Yeah,
there
you're
is
right,
something
good buddy. I ought to use this great power for my country.
Yeah.
The United States of America.
Yeah.
Or the Army, or the Navy, or the FBI, or the United States of America. Yeah, I could be like a spy.
A spy?
Yeah. I could go in one of them submarines and peek through a porthole and read the lips of the Russians in the next submarine and find out what evil goings on are going on.
Yeah.
I have to learn Russian, and it's probably tougher reading lips underwater.
Yeah.
All them bubbles. But it's worth it for my country.
Sure.
The United
Maynard.
States of America. I could zoom around in a satellite reading lips and secrets all over the kingdom come. I mean, I could see robbers penning robberies and murderers penning murders and thieves.
Maynard! Enough!
You sure got it up here, good buddy.
Thank you, Maynard. It's heartwarming to know I'm appreciated. Now listen, there's something you can do for me.
Like, name it.
Let me stay at your house tonight, so when this Yvette comes dragging around tomorrow morning, she won't find me home, and she'll maybe get discouraged and give up the whole thing.
Sure, Dobe. You can have my bed.
Your bed? There's another bed in your room.
There is?
Yeah, underneath all those records.
Oh, yeah. Good thinking, yeah. Oh, hi.
Oh, good morning, Monsieur Gillis.
Dobie ain't here. He spent the night over at Maynard's.
Oh, good. And Madame Gillis?
She ain't here either. She went over to drag Dobie home before some of Maynard rubbed off on him.
Oh, we are alone. I must speak.
Go right ahead and parlez-vous. How's that for classic French, huh?
Certain things that happen between people, nobody can explain them.
Yeah, like that science fiction jazz on television.
Please to listen. I can no longer stay silent.
Yes, you can. You're just not trying.
Oh, Herbert. Hear me, my Herbert.
You're Herbert? Now, hold on.
Oh, you great fool. Why do you think I have been coming around here day after day? Did you imagine it was for this callow youth, Dobie? Oh, no. It was for you, my savage. For you, for you, for you.
For me, for me, for me. Winnie!
Oh, she's gone, Herbert.
And you're going, too, right out that door, right now, and don't come back.
How he shouts, how he stamps, how he roars. Oh, Herbert, what an animal you are.
And what a nut you are. That's what you are. Now, you get going.
Oh, and look at you, and 10,000 years of civilization disappear. Poof, and there you stand. The primitive man, the mindless brute.
I'll have you understand I'm a respectable married man, and a husband, and a father, and a businessman, and a veteran with a good conduct medal.
Ah, the magnificent mindlessness of you. The sublime crudity. Ah, my ferocious beast. We are ready to face the world together.
And you are ready for the funny farm, that's it. Winnie! Winnie! Will you please go home? Winnie! 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 Winnie!
Herbert! What is it, Herbert?
Winnie! Hang on to that lummy there. I'm going to get her old man. Look out, boys.
What on earth is happening? I will tell you, madame. I love your husband.
Well, of course you do, my dear. The whole neighborhood does. Do you know that every year he plays Santa Claus at the orphan asylum, and when he walks down the street, dogs lick his hands?
I do not love him, madame. I love him.
Why, that's not a nice way to talk.
You must give him up, madame. He's a savage and he needs me.
You love Mr. G? What are you, some kind of nut or something?
Aha, so that's why you've been hanging around.
Oh, dear.
Yvette, what is this infamous thing I hear?
It is true. Herbert, I love you, and it is a perfect love, all pain and no pleasure. And I will ride.
You see what I mean?
You between my legs, triumph with
Get her out of here! Yvette, you will go home at once and go to your room.
I will go to my home, for now I have tasted the dregs of futility. Now, at last, I am ready to write. Farewell, Herbert, my great tawny beast.
Well, that turned out real good, Winnie Pooh. You got any more highfalutin friends you want to introduce Dobie to?
Yes, I have. Maynard, darling, promise me you will stay with Dobie always. Promise me you will never leave him.
Like, sure, Mrs. G.
And forgive me for ever having tried to take Dobie away from you.
Like, forget it, Mrs. G.
Maynard, you are a real human being.
You're 100% with me.
You're my kind of people.
Your ace is my book.
You're all heart.
You're the cat's pajamas.
You're the cook.
You're the one.
Well, that was the last time Mom tried to ram culture down my throat. After what happened, she was convinced that I had to develop an interest in good music and literature and poetry and like that, all by myself. And I'm happy to say that I did. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. On the 18th of April in '75, hardly a man is now alive who remembers that famous day and year.
I got it.
Uh-huh.
See if I read your lips right, huh?
Yeah, okay.
It looked extremely rocky for the Mudville 9 that day. The scores were 2-4 with but an inning left to play.
Perfect, Dad. Perfect, yeah.
Dobie, once a gal who's creamy, Dobie, wants a gal to call his own. Is she blonde, is she tall, is she dark, is she small, is she any kind of dreamer at all? No matter
Casey?
What?
Dropping out of school, man. Frantic, huh?
Crazy.
Yeah, man, this sure is the life.
What?
What we're doing, stupid.
What are we doing?
We're living it up, man. Just hacking around. No teachers, no classes, no homework, nobody on our backs. Ain't that frantic?
Crazy.
Yeah, them squares in there. 18 years old and still going to school. Ain't that frantic?
Crazy.
Hey, Chatsworth, where you going all dressed up so pretty? The dancing school?
Nah, he's gonna take the principal a nice shiny red apple.
Where'd you get that pretty striped tie? Did your mommy give it to you?
Hey, you guys, lay off Chatsworth. He didn't do nothing to you.
Yeah, if you guys are looking for a rumble, we're here too.
Thanks awfully, chaps, but I can handle this riffraff myself.
Goodness gracious, Chatsworth, what are you gonna do to us? Look at that!
Wow. Where'd you learn that, Chatsworth?
Well, Dobie, since the age of 7, I have been taking bi-weekly lessons in judo from the celebrated Japanese master Ito Nomuri. As a matter of fact, he's waiting at my house right now.
To give you another judo lesson?
No, Krebs, baby. He also gives lessons in flower arrangement.
Dobie, Dobie.
Those guys at Chatsworth roughed up. They're dropouts. I mean, they quit school and now they just bum around town doing nothing. Well, they can have it. School may be a pain in the neck sometimes, but lately I haven't been doing too bad. The other day in English class, for instance, Mr. Pomfret said to me,
"Hail to thee, blithe spirit," is a famous line from a famous poem. Now, Dobie Gillis, can you name the poem and the poet?
"To a Skylark" by Percy Bysshe Shelley.
Oh, bless my soul, that's absolutely correct.
It is?
It is? Yes, Dobie, it is. And I want you to stay after school this afternoon.
But you said my answer was right.
I also said I want you to stay after school. Paul Merrick, can you name 2 more poems by Shelley?
I don't know.
Well, sure you do, Paul. Think.
Yeah, boy, think.
I said I didn't know.
All right, Paul. Linda Mayhew, can you name 2 more poems by Shelley?
Ode to the West Wind and Adonais.
Very good, Linda. And now, let's turn to the works of my favorite poet, William Wordsworth. Class, except for Dobie Gillis.
Oh.
Dismissed!
Everybody's always picking on him.
Oh, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Yes, there is.
All right, there is. What's that got to do with you?
Look, we've been in school together since we were little kids. Naturally, I take an interest.
Look, what is this? Some kind of charity work you're doing?
Oh, stop that. All right, so you're poor. So are a lot of other people.
Like you?
Well, no.
All right, then, don't be such an expert.
Paul, you were an A student up until a few months ago. Now you're on the edge of flunking out. Why?
What do you care?
I told you, we're friends. Let me help you, please.
Do you mean that?
Of course I do.
Linda, baby, have you forgotten tennis this afternoon? Excuse me, Paulsy, do.
In just a little while, Chatsworth.
Oh, do hurry, child, because I would like to get in a little splash after the game.
In a few minutes.
Coming, Paul. Go with your friend, Linda.
Paul?
Because my friends are here for me.
Yeah, we ain't got all day.
Now, you saw it, boys. Paul with those dropouts.
Dropouts? How come they call them dropouts?
Because they dropped out of school before they graduated.
What do they do now?
Nothing, just loaf.
Yeah? How old do you have to be a dropout?
You're old enough, Maynard.
Yeah?
But if you do, I will personally grab you by that beard and drag you right back in again. That's the worst thing that can happen to a kid, dropping out. Now, maybe it sounds like fun to you, just loafing and hanging around street corners, but that doesn't go on for long. Pretty soon it comes time to go to work.
Work!
Yes, Maynard, work.
Work!
Maynard.
And what kind of jobs do these kids get? They're not equipped for any skilled or even semi-skilled work.
Work!
Maynard! Dobie, I need your help.
You need my help?
With Paul Merrick. Boys, he's on the verge of dropping out of school. And personally, I consider that a great tragedy.
Personally? How?
Well, it may come as something of a shock to you, Dobie, but I do take a personal interest in my students, in every one of them.
No offense, but how come you're so mean and rotten?
No offense, Maynard. I am mean and rotten because trying to cram an education into the skulls of healthy young animals is a job that requires a firm hand and nerves of steel. In fact, there are times when I think I should come to class equipped with a kitchen chair, a pistol, and a whip. It's not an easy job, my young barbarians, but it's a job I asked for, and I've never regretted it for a moment, because it's a job with many rewards. And I'm not speaking of that pittance I find in my pay envelope at the end of each month. I'm speaking of the kids who go out of my class into the world and make a name for themselves. Those are my trophies, boys. Those are my medals, my citations.
But Mr. Pomfret, I still don't understand. What do you want me to do about Paul Merrick?
Dobie, I want you to persuade him to straighten himself out and stay in school.
Me? Him? Why me? Why not his parents?
Unfortunately, Paul doesn't have any parents. He's living with an older brother who drives a truck and is practically never at home.
Well, what about the principal, the school psychologist?
You. Well, we all tried, Dobie, and it didn't work.
Work?
Dobie, I've been watching you ever since you came to Central High School. Now, your marks, I admit, will never take any prizes, and your talents, let's be frank, they defy detection. However, there is one thing you do have.
What's that?
The ability to inspire confidence. Everybody trusts you, Dobie.
Ah, shucks, Mr.
Now, no
Pomfret.
modesty, no modesty. You've got a kind of goodness that shines through.
Well, what can I do?
Just talk to Paul. Be his friend. Try to convince him what a mistake he's making, because he is, you know. Paul's a brilliant student. Or used to be.
Oh, gee, I don't know. You say you've tried, and the principal and the psychologist, and you all struck out?
But that's just the point, Dobie. Paul doesn't trust adults. You, on the other hand, you, Dobie Gillis, are a natural-born youth leader.
Dobie's a natural-born youth leader?
He sure is.
Well, I'm a natural-born youth follower.
Wait.
Come on, Dob, we'll go over to Paul's house. Come on.
Maynard. Mr. Pomfret, look, please, Mr. Paul? Hey, Paul? Not here, Maynard. Oh.
Ooh. I don't think nobody but kidnappers live here.
Kidnapper?
Yeah, like in the movies. When they're like holding somebody for ransom, they always got an iron bed and a light bulb hanging down.
Maynard, that's ridiculous. This is Paul's room, all right. It's the right address. Gee, it isn't quite what I expected.
It ain't good, buddy. I've seen prettier rooms than this in horror pictures.
Gee, he's been like sewing the holes in his socks together.
Gee, I'm getting like all misty. Let's go, Dope, huh?
Yeah, I wonder Paul never invited anybody here. Gee, we better not let him know we've been snooping around here. It's like opening somebody else's mail.
Yeah.
He wouldn't like it. Hi, Paul. Can we sit with you? Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. You're like a real human being.
You sure are, Paul. You're quite a fella and awful smart, too. Yeah. Yes, sir, Paul. We're sure happy to be having lunch with you.
That's right, Paul. Why,
Yeah.
just this morning I said to my good buddy Dobie, wouldn't it be crazy to have lunch with Paul today?
Yeah, that's right, Paul. That's what Maynard was saying. Hey, I got an idea. Let's all have lunch together.
Sure, Paul. Where's your lunch?
What do you mean, where's my lunch?
I mean, like I don't see it.
What's the matter? You don't think I can afford lunch?
Oh, sure.
All right, now, come on. What do you guys really want?
What? Well, what we really want
is... You tell him, Dobie.
Yeah, some help with our homework. Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Are you kidding? You want me to help you with your homework?
Yeah,
I'm flunking in everything.
Oh, you're just in kind of a slump, that's all, Paul. You're still the smartest guy in class. I mean, a guy like you's got a great future.
Oh, be a smash.
Yeah, she is. Doctor, lawyer.
Indian chief?
Good thinking, yeah.
Oh, a guy like me's got a great future pushing a broom. What are you talking about, doctor, lawyer? For that, you've got to go to college. You know how much that costs?
You could work your way through.
Work! That'd be just great. Me busting tables in some fraternity house. All those fat, rich Slavs looking down their noses at me. Hey, boy, fill my water glass. Boy, catch him. Hey, boy, can't you move any faster? Yeah, that'd be just great. No thanks. People have been looking down their noses at me my whole life. I've had it.
Listen, Paul, you've got to finish high school. Don't drop out. You're making a terrible mistake.
Yeah, well, thanks for the good advice, kindly old philosopher.
We didn't do so good, huh, Dobe?
Good thinking.
Yeah, maybe we should quit.
Quit? I don't know the meaning of the word quit.
It means like stop, like cut out, like flake off, like pack it in, like run like a bunny. Yeah, let's.
Good
thinking.
Yeah.
So we see that in his later poetry, and particularly in his sonnets, William Wordsworth reached his full powers as an important English poet. Class is not dismissed. I want to give you an assignment for tomorrow. Now, I want each of you to write me a theme of 500 words to be called A Trip Around My Room. Simply set down in clear, concise English, preferably grammatical, what you see when you look around your room. For instance, what color are the walls, how many windows there are, what kind of furniture there is, things like that. All right, Maynard, what is it?
Mr. Pomfret, sir, how can you, like, take a trip around your room? I mean, your room is just a little tiny place. A trip is when you get on a train or a plane and go somewhere.
Thank you, Maynard. It's not that kind of a trip.
Like, say, if you went to New Orleans to hear some New Orleans jazz. Yeah.
Maynard.
You went to Chicago to hear some Chicago jazz.
Maynard.
Ooh, you went to Duluth to hear some Duluth jazz.
Maynard! Enough. Just describe your room. All right, class, except for Maynard and Dobie. Dismissed. Well, how'd you make out with Paul, boys?
Well, we did great. He told us to leave him alone, and that's just what we're going to do. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
You mean you're going to quit?
That's the word, quitting.
Oh, well, I don't suppose I had any right to ask you in the first place.
Honest, Mr. Pomfret, I did everything I could.
Sure, Dobie, it's not your problem if a boy like Paul Merrick throws away a fine potential and ends up a bum.
But really, Mr. Pomfret, I did my best.
After all, you're not your brother's keeper, are you? If you want to quit, that's your privilege.
Dobe?
Huh?
I think you're being snowed.
I think so, too.
He's right.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Pomfret, what do you want me to do? Tell me.
Just try again. Just once more. Okay, Dobie?
But I haven't got a chance.
Dobie, remember this. It matters not if you win or lose, but how you run the race. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. And a man who won't be beat can't be beat. And a man who can't be beat won't be beat.
Stuff a cold and starve a fever. Just holding up my end of the conversation.
Maynard, old friend, I've thought long and hard about Paul's problem. And in my vast experience, I've learned that when all else fails, cherchez la femme.
That's like brilliant, though.
Yeah, it is kind of, isn't it?
What does it mean?
It's French, Maynard. It means find the woman.
Oh, we're going to go to France and find him a woman.
No, Maynard.
Where are we going?
We're staying right here.
Well, where's the woman coming from?
Right there.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Dobie.
That's the girl you're going to get for Paul.
Good thinking, Maynard. Just let me do the talking.
Hi, Linda, baby. It is I, your ever-loving Chatsworth.
In a minute, Chatsworth. You wanted to see me, Dobie?
You, yes. I hadn't figured on Chatsworth.
It's all right, Gillis, baby. Linda has no secrets from me.
Oh, hush up, Chatsworth. Now, what was it you wanted to talk to me about, Dobie?
Well, I was wondering if you had a date for the dance Saturday.
As a matter of fact, I haven't. Are you asking me?
Well, not exactly. Not for myself, that is.
For somebody else?
Well, yes.
And who might that be, John Alden?
John Alden? It ain't John Alden. It's Paul Merrick.
Merrick, oh.
What's the matter with Paul Merrick?
Any number of things, but let's begin with those seedy characters he hangs around with.
Guilt by association. It doesn't prove a thing. Look at the seedy character I hang around with. No offense, Maynard.
No offense.
There's quite a difference, Dobie do. I mean, this ragamuffin, shabby though he is basically quite a decent sort. Paul's friends, on the other hand, are really too impossible.
I'm afraid he's right, Dobie. Something's happened to Paul in the last few months. Something bad.
But you always liked him.
I was always his friend, yes, and I still want to be. But you can't be friends with a boy who keeps turning his back on you.
But he wants to take you to the dance Saturday.
He sent you to ask me?
Well, not exactly, but I know he wants to.
See here, Gillis, it just so happens I was going to ask Linda to the dance right after we finished golfing this afternoon.
Chatsworth, you got everything in the whole world. Do you need Linda, too? Paul really needs her. He's in trouble.
Dobie, if I thought I could help Paul, you know I'd say yes in a minute. But let's face it, he's too far gone.
Oh, honest, Linda, he's a great guy, 100%.
He was. It's gone now.
Oh, no, Linda.
Look
no.
here, chaps. This argument is rather pointless. I mean, tomorrow we'll know what sort of a person Paul is, won't we?
Tomorrow?
Yes.
How?
Yeah, like how?
Don't you remember our English assignment, a trip around my room?
So?
So, tomorrow in class we'll be reading our themes. And I always say, you show me a man's room, and I'll tell you what kind of a man he is. I'm not talking about luxurious furnishings. I'm talking about the kind of thing he keeps around him. Good books, good music, good hobbies. That's where a man really shows his character. Don't you agree, Linda?
Yes, I suppose that's true.
Well, then why stand around debating when tomorrow we'll have the answer?
Bye, boys.
Ta-ta, chaps.
Hey, Dobe.
Yeah.
You remember Paul's room?
I sure do.
Hey, Dobe, know what we're like?
Like dead?
Good
thinking, yeah.
Now, Maynard.
My Room by Maynard G. Krebs. My theme is kind of short, Mr. Pomfret, sir, and I live in a small room.
Proceed, Maynard.
I open the door to my room. What do I see? The sweatshirt I left on the floor last night. What is the next thing I see? It is the sneakers I left beside the sweatshirt. And what is the next thing I see? It is the socks I left beside the sneakers. And what is the next thing I see? It is my records. Singles, albums, 33s, 45s, 78s, hi-fi, lo-fi, stereo, hundreds and thousands of records, piles and stacks and heaps of records. And what is the next thing I see? It is my mother standing in the door saying, Maynard, clean up your room or your father will put you in manual training school. Thank you.
It sounds a simple hovel, Maynard, but your own.
Like true.
Paul Merrick.
A trip around my room. When you come into my room, the first thing you notice is how light everything is. The walls and the ceiling are light, and sometimes when the sun comes in through the big windows at the sides, it's so bright you almost have to squint up your eyes to keep out the light. Over my bed on the wall are 2 crossed tennis rackets, and on the other side are 2 crossed dueling swords. On the other side of my room is a big desk where I keep my microscope. It goes up to 1200 power, has 3 objective lens turrets, highly polished concave mirrors and optical condensers, and is kept in a mahogany-stained hardwood storage case. In the drawers of my desk, I keep my stamp collection and my coin collection and my rock specimens. I've got pretty interesting stamps, too. For instance, I've got an unused Hawaiian Islands 5-cent blue from 1840. That's one of the rarest kind of stamps ever printed. Next to the desk as you go around my room is a hi-fi set and a pretty big phonograph so I can hear all the good music I want anytime. Next is sort of a workbench where I keep all my chemistry apparatus, where I can do all kinds of experiments. You know, people have made very important discoveries with equipment just as basic as mine. But the best thing in my room is my collection of books, because I found that a man can travel to the ends of the earth while sitting in an armchair if he has plenty of good books. I don't want to brag, but it's such a good room that you couldn't want a better one.
Congratulations, Paul. That was a fine essay. And a fine room, too. That's just the sort of room I'd expect you to have.
That's okay.
Paul,
Yeah?
I just wanted to tell you how much I liked your theme. Your room sounds absolutely wonderful.
What'd you think I lived in, some kind of dump?
Paul Merrick, you get that chip off your shoulder and listen to me. I said I liked your theme. I said I liked your room. Now, a boy who lives in a room like that has just got to be good, deep down. So, my answer's yes. I will go to the dance with you Saturday night.
Dance Saturday night?
Don't you want to go with me?
Yeah, but...
Okay, it's a date. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, and if you want to see me any other time, why, I'm available. Oh, it doesn't have to be for a dance or a party or anything. I mean, if you just want to walk and talk, call me.
Linda, I didn't...
Because you're a very fine boy and a smart boy, and it'd be a crying shame if you were to drop out of school.
You know, I didn't even think you...
You didn't think I cared? Of course I do, Paul. Lots of people care about you. I mean, you're a very important human being, even if you don't think so.
Ain't that beautiful? Don't it just bust you all up inside, Casey?
Yeah. Hand me my lace handkerchief. I think I'm gonna cry.
Paul, send those 2 away. And I mean away for good.
Sure, Paul. Do what the rich lady says.
Yeah, and if you're very polite, maybe she'll let you come around the back door for a handout.
Paul, make up your mind.
Come on, Casey. We don't want no social climbers.
Wait!
Paul!
You wouldn't understand.
Yes, sir, Linda. You sure can't tell about a man from the kind of room he lives in.
Oh, shut up.
Shut up. Linda, I'm talking about Paul. You heard his theme.
Don't ever mention his name to me again.
But he's a wonderful guy.
He's a bum and a loafer, and I think all that stuff about his room is just a big lie. I think his room is just like he is, crummy and rotten.
Oh, you're wrong.
All right. How would you like to show me Paul's room?
Well...
I thought so.
Yeah, all right. I'll show you his room.
Good buddy, good buddy. I feel like I've forgotten something. Good buddy.
Well, no. Tomorrow afternoon, okay, Linda?
Good buddy.
Tomorrow afternoon will be just fine.
Good.
You got a plan, though, like, please tell me you got a plan, like, please.
I got a plan.
Gillis, baby, about your plan. you're definitely sick. I mean, you need attention.
Chatsworth, you gotta do it.
Look, Paul told this great whopping lie about his room, and you want me to make it all come true. You want me to supply the things he said he had in his room.
Well, you've got them, haven't you?
Ridiculous question. Of course I've got them.
Yeah, and I'll get my father's truck to haul them over, and Maynard will keep Paul away from the room.
Dobie, may I remind you that I have more than a casual interest in Linda? And you're asking me to help Paul Marek steal my girlie. Gad, you can't be serious.
Chatsworth, if you were just anybody, I wouldn't ask. But you're Chatsworth Osborne Jr. Why, you've got family and ancestors and tradition. Why, you've even got a coat of arms with a motto in Latin. Substantium nihil tangere. That must mean something.
As a matter of fact, it means never dip into capital. However, you have struck a responsive chord. The gallantry of it is rather me, isn't it?
Yeah, to the teeth.
A greater love hath no man and all that. It would be a grand gesture, wouldn't it?
Yes, and so like you.
Gillis? I'll do it.
Good. Chatsworth, you're like a real human being.
Oh, rather more than that.
Well, Linda?
Oh, Dobie.
Hi-fi set,
Records.
butterfly collection, books, yeah,
Tennis rackets.
dueling swords.
And a microscope.
Yeah, stamp
It's
collection,
exactly
rocks.
the way he described it.
Well, what do you say now?
I say I misjudged Paul, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, Linda, if anybody could talk him out of quitting school, it's you.
Do you really think so?
I know it, Linda. He's ape for you. He's just too shy to tell you. Can't you persuade him to stay in school?
Well, maybe I can. Yes. I know I can.
Oh, good.
Hey, Dobe.
Maynard, you were supposed to be keeping Paul away.
I like goofed.
Where's Paul?
Does that answer your question?
Where'd all this stuff come from? Whose is it?
Well, isn't it yours?
Are you kidding? Where would I get enough money to buy stuff like this?
Nice work, Dobie. First Paul tells me a big lie, and then you help him out with another big lie. Excuse me, I'm going home.
Now, just a minute. Just a darn minute.
Let me out.
Okay, I'm a liar.
That's right.
I borrowed this stuff from Chatsworth and put it in
Chatsworth?
here, but Paul didn't know about it.
Oh.
And Paul lied, too, when he wrote that theme about his room. He
I
was
thought
making
so.
it up, all of it. But why? Why did he make up a room like this? Because it's the kind of room he'd like to have. Look at it. Microscope, stamp collection, music, books. Is this the kind of room a bum would dream of?
What?
No. This is the room of a decent, intelligent, ambitious kid. And that's what Paul is. Decent, intelligent, ambitious. And if you're not intelligent enough to see that, then you're not intelligent enough for an intelligent guy like Paul.
I'm getting pretty misty, Dobe.
Paul, is this really the kind of room you'd like to have?
Are you kidding? Who wouldn't?
Those two creepy friends of yours would, and that's who wouldn't.
Paul, will you stop hanging around with those two boys and stay in school?
Yeah.
What for?
Well, for one thing, so that you and I can be together.
Yeah, that's what for.
Do you really mean it,
Well,
Linda?
of course I do. And for another thing, so that you can go to college and amount to something. You've got what it takes, Paul. I know it.
What do you say, Paul?
What can I do? I'm outnumbered.
Thanks, Dobie.
Maynard?
Yeah, good buddy?
I'm getting pretty misty, too.
These three magical lines from Kubla Khan are considered among the most inspired lyrics in the English language. And so, we take our leave of Samuel Taylor Coleridge and turn once again to my favorite poet, William Wordsworth. Class, except for Maynard G. Krebs and Dobie Gillis, dismissed. Boys, congratulations. You did a wonderful job on
Thank you,
Paul
Mr.
Marek.
Pomfret.
I only wish there was something I could do in return.
Tell me.
Well, as a matter of fact...
Yes?
You tell him, Dobie.
Yeah, well, Mr. Pomfret, do you remember the mark Maynard got on his last test?
How could I forget? A -40. Maynard, you missed 4 questions that weren't even on the test.
Well, Maynard was wondering, Mr. Pomfret, sir, if you could raise his mark to an even 0.
I think that could be arranged.
Mr. Pomfret, sir, you're like a real human being.
Yeah, he's kind of like a real human being.
American romantic.
Frank Sinatra.
Thoroughly original answer.
Like, thank you.
Too bad it's thoroughly wrong.
Like you're welcome.
Class, dismissed.
Pomfret, we
we heard that you're quitting your job.
Yes, boys, I'm afraid that's right. I shall miss Central High School. I've actually grown to like teaching. Or, as in your case, Maynard, trying to teach.
Like, thank you.
Like you're welcome.
But if you're so eager for teaching, why are you kicking it?
I am motivated by one of the noblest emotions that burns in the human heart. The desire for money.
Like, no.
Like, yes, Maynard. Teaching means a great deal to me, but I have numerous creditors, a wife, children, and a stomach to support.
But what if the new teacher's like mean and rotten? It makes us do mean and rotten things.
Like what?
Like homework.
I give you homework, Maynard. You just don't do it.
That's what I mean. We understand each other. Don't go, Mr. Pomfret. Like, please.
Maynard, I thought you teachers were supposed to meet with the school board tonight to talk about a pay raise.
We are, but the prospects are dim. The school board hasn't voted a pay raise since the San Juan Hill victory bonus of 1898. Oh, boys, if you'll excuse me now, I'm expecting my prospective new employer any minute.
Hey, I bet your new job's a gasser, huh? Like a disc jockey or something.
A disc jockey? Maynard, Mr. Pomfret's destined for important things. What's it to be, sir? Government service, the State Department, the Stock Exchange?
Well, not exactly.
Mr. Pomfret, I brought your outfit. Come on, try it on. Here. Mr. Pomfret, I'm counting on you to turn into a top-notch moneymaker in no time.
Dobie! Dobie!
I never thought the day had come when I'd be sorry to see a teacher leave. But Mr. Pomfret's different. I mean, he's straight shooting and sympathetic and inspiring, and he gives easy tests. So I decided to talk to my father about the situation. He promised me he'd always listen to my opinion on any subject.
I absolutely refuse to discuss it.
Dad, I thought you were more open-minded.
I am probably the most open-minded man in town. How do you think I wind up with all these head colds? You probably remember the famous words of Voltaire when he said, "I may not agree with what you say, but I shall defend to the death your right to say it."
Sure, Dad,
well, that was Voltaire talking. Now this is Herbert T. Gillis talking. Clam up and keep your nose clean. Nobody likes a smart aleck.
Hey, Doe, guess what?
What?
I can't tell you.
Maynard, what? What?
I promise you won't hate me for telling you?
Maynard, tell me already.
Guess who we're going to get for a new teacher if Mr. Pomfret quits?
Who?
Mr. Fogarty from Woodshop. Like, right. The only teacher who ever got an honorary degree from Devil's Island. Doe, we got to do something.
Yeah, well, I've been trying, but my father told me to butt out.
Hello, dear. Hello, Maynard.
Mom, Dad refuses to talk to me.
How nice for you, dear.
But this time I want him to talk to me about the teacher's pay raise.
Oh, did he give you any encouragement?
He kind of encouraged me to clam up. Mom, make him listen to me.
Well, I don't know too much about the issues involved, but he certainly ought to hear what you have to say. Herbert, I want you to drop everything and listen to your son.
It'll be a pleasure. All right, I'll stand here and you go right ahead and tell me what's bugging you.
Thanks, Dad. You're a real human being, no matter what anybody says. Now, Dad, the fine, noble, self-sacrifice. How could I break through to Herbert T. Gillis, father, citizen, practical budget watcher? I had to show him that without good teachers, we'd all turn into uncultured, dull-witted, simple-minded clods.
You right?
When the members of the school board get here for their meeting, I want to make sure they don't miss this.
Yeah, it's like beautiful, Doe.
Yeah, it sort of makes you think.
Sort of makes you hungry.
Very funny. Very funny.
Worthwhile thought, huh, Dad?
Very worthwhile.
Don't encourage him, Winnie. Your son is already some kind of a rabble-rousing nut. Important matters like these require a level head, and I happen to have the levelest head you're ever gonna...
These teachers have got to get a raise.
Why, Doe?
Well, look at it this way. No offense, Maynard, but how would you like to teach a class with you in it?
Doe, those teachers have got to get a raise.
Hush, not have to do sometimes. Hush,
All right, that's better. Say, I recognize this Mr. Gillis.
Thank you, Mrs. Osborne. I would just like to make a few unbiased remarks before the teachers get here. Now, I understand they are asking for a $15 raise. All I want to say, in all fairness, is my pumpernickel should have such crust. If we give them this raise, our treasury's going to wind up 20 points lower than nothing.
Sorry I'm late, folks. May I say a few words?
Very few. Hold it. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen of the school board, unfortunately, we're going to have to postpone this meeting because the other teachers will not be able to attend. As a matter of fact, almost the entire faculty is down with influenza. Well, there is an epidemic in town, you know.
Oh, the newspaper says very mild.
Yeah, nobody's getting it except those that are overworked or undernourished.
I rest my case.
That's not what I meant.
Anyway, in view of the emergency, we're going to have to close down school for a few days. So please tell your children to stay home tomorrow. And until further notice.
My son Chatsworth at home?
Everybody.
Oh, that is out of the question. Every time Chatsworth stays home, all the servants leave.
You're not going to get away with this, Pomfret. Why, if Dobie's hanging around that store all day, that means Maynard's going to be there, too. Have you any idea what this will do to business? Not to mention my nervous system?
But, Mr. Gillis, I'm the only teacher left. I can't run the school single-handed.
Well, there must be something can be done in this situation. Bylaws.
I move we shut down the school.
Me too.
It has been moved and seconded that we shut down the school.
Okay, the motion passes. Now I move we adjourn. Come on, let's get out of here.
Just a minute. Just a darn minute. We are not shutting down the school. Those children will not be denied their right to an education.
Winnie, it'll cost a cockeyed fortune to keep this school open.
Who cares? What's more important, the minds of our youngsters hungry for learning or a few miserable dollars? Don't answer that question. Remember this, the greatest asset that our country has is the minds of its children.
The country's bankrupt.
Mrs. Gillis is absolutely right. Those little minds, nasty as they are sometimes, need nourishment.
Until our regular teachers recover, we parents can teach the classes.
Now hold on, wait here. Now hold on.
You're out of order, Mr.
Now listen.
Yes, you are out of order.
Mrs. Osborne, I don't know if it's legal.
I have just made it legal.
What's the matter, Pomfret? You scared we'll find out what a soft touch you teachers got around here? I move and second and all the other gizmos that the parents take over the classes. We'll find out the truth. You want a raise? You feather betters will probably wind up with a cut.
It'll be exciting.
It'll be fun.
It'll be murder.
Our parents are going to teach the classes? Ridiculous. I mean, parents are supposed to bug you at home, and teachers are supposed to bug you at school. But nobody was playing by the rules.
Actually, I will teach home economics and the art of entertaining. We Osbornes have been internationally famous for entertaining ever since the Mayflower landed. We were on the beach waiting for them, you know.
I decided to teach music so that this great musical talent within me will not be kept from the world. Down among the sheltering palms, oh honey, wait for me. Oh honey, wait for me. See what I mean?
Girls' physical education? All that bending and stretching and twisting and turning? Oh, dear.
I think that accounts for everyone, except Mr. Gillis.
He had to stop off for something. He'll be here in a minute. Now, why don't you just tell us all where to go?
He wouldn't dare.
Mrs. Osborne, Dobie will take you to your home economics class in room 208. And, Maynard, why don't you take Mrs. Kenny to her music class in room 324?
All those lucky youngsters.
Mrs. Gillis, our girls' physical education class is experimenting with this program of Swedish exercises.
Oh, must we? I'm afraid I'll have enough trouble with them in English.
Hey, Pomfret, get the whole team out here. On the double. I'm calling one-go practice for the outfield. I want to see the whole team in there pitching, except the pitchers. Them I want to see out someplace hitting. There's too many weak hitting pitchers nowadays. You got to get that old Pepper in there, boy.
Mr. Gillis, there must be some misunderstanding. These clothes.
What's the matter with these clothes? What do you mean, you put me down for baseball coach, didn't you?
Well, I'm afraid not, Mr. Gillis. I had you penciled in for English literature.
Well, you can just unpencil me out, Buster, if you think I'm going to sit in some stuffy classroom and listen to a lot of kids yammer.
Herbert?
Well, it ain't fair, Winnie. Listen, I went out and bought a new glove and everything.
Don't worry, Mr. Pomfret. Deep down, Herbert really loves English literature. Don't you, Herbert?
I like Casey at the bat.
Good, but I hope you like poetry, too. Right now, we're studying the great American romantic.
Frank Sinatra?
Twice in one day? No, Mr. Gillis. I'm referring to Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Dean of the Romantic Poets. He wrote The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. And you must know The Wreck of the Hesperus.
No, or I married him. Just a little pleasantry, dear.
I'll thank you to keep your pleasantries to yourself. I have a physical education class to organize in Swedish.
Mr. Gillis, I hope that you're able to maintain discipline with your class.
Discipline? You are talking to Herbert T. Gillis, formerly First Sergeant Herbert T. Gillis in the United States Army, with the Good Conduct Medal. Lead me to them yard birds.
Very well, Mr. Gillis. Fall in.
Fall in, I mean. Sit down. Quiet. My name is Gillis. Mr. Gillis. And what I say around here goes, see? Okay, I won't be needing you anymore, son.
Mr. Gillis.
Dismiss!
Roger.
Now listen, men. Oh, and ladies. I'm the boss around here, see? Boss Gillis. And to begin with, there's going to be no more of this buddy-buddy foolishness going on. Today, you are going to get a dose of good old-fashioned meat and potato type education. And, what sort of a dog kennel is this?
Mr. Gillis, that is the wigwam of Nokomis.
Don't give me any of your smart apple answers, Chatsworth Osborne Jr. I've known you from way back.
I am merely stating a fact. That is the wigwam of Nokomis.
Nokomis? What's the matter with him? Can't he sit at a desk like everybody else?
I'm afraid you don't understand. Nokomis is Hiawatha's grandmother.
I don't care if she is George Washington's maiden aunt. She's going to sit at a desk like anybody else. Get out of there.
Gillis, really? There's nobody in there. Nokomis is a character.
It also happens to be a small town in the state of Illinois. And I don't care what kind of a character she is. Nobody around here is going to... What do you mean, character?
In the poem, Hiawatha.
Oh, that Nokomis.
Down among the sheltering palms, oh honey, wait for me. Oh honey, wait for me. Meet me down by the old golden gate, down where the sun goes down about 8. How my love is burning, burning, burning. How my heart is yearning, yearning, yearning to be down among the sheltering palms. Oh honey, wait for me. Oh, you ungrateful children. I thought you liked snappy music.
No offense, Mrs. Kinney, but that music hasn't been snappy since the Spanish-American War.
Well, if that's your attitude, it's back to the anvil chorus.
Oh. Mrs. Kinney, how about something a little more hip?
Like what?
Like, you sure, huh, Dope?
Okay, Maynard, but you better stand guard in case Mr. Pomfret comes by.
Good thinking.
Yeah.
All clear, Dope.
Don't send a rabbit to the store to bring home carrots and put them on the shelf. Oh, no. You send a rabbit to the store to bring home carrots, he'll eat them all himself. Oh, yeah, yeah, I had a gal and I had a pal, as true as he could be. Well, I sent my pal to fetch my gal and he stole her love from me. Don't send a monkey to the store to bring home bananas for your appetite. You send a monkey to the store to bring home bananas you won't eat tonight.
Cool at the law.
Ready, class? The anvil chorus with anvil. A 1, a 2, back to the rabbit.
Don't send an elephant to the store to bring home peanuts like the fella tells. Oh, no. You send an elephant to the store to bring home peanuts, you'll get peanut shells. Oh, yeah, yeah, my buddy asked to borrow my car, so what was I to do? Oh, I let my buddy take my car and he took my baby out too. Don't send a rabbit to the store to bring home carrots and put them on the shelf. You send a rabbit to the store to bring home carrots, he'll eat them all himself.
And don't send no doggy for bones, neither.
Like true.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3. This is dreary. I have a much better idea. Something that we used to do in school, rhythmic expression. We'll act out all kinds of cute little stories. Now, you just do as I say. All the graceful swans are sleeping. That's right. Lovely. Splendid. Now, isn't this much more fun than those silly Swedish exercises? But hark! Bold Chanticleer heralds the dawn. Everybody make like Chanticleer. The sleepy swans awaken and paddle down the stream. Paddling. Oh, no, dear, paddling, not waddling. Oh, there, isn't that more swanny? But here comes the wicked hunter. Everybody cover your heads with your wings and swim for the lily pad.
Mrs. Gillis.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Pomfret.
Good morning.
Welcome to Swan Lake.
What happened to the Swedish exercises, Mrs. Gillis?
Oh.
And.
1, 2, 3,
Mr. Pomfret. Mr. Pomfret, sir. You gotta come quick, Mr. Pomfret.
3, 4.
You gotta come quick and save Mr. Gillis' life.
Why? What happened?
I didn't look inside the classroom. From the outside, it sounds like he's General Custer with a bunch of bad-tempered Indians.
3.
Murder and mayhem are prohibited on school property.
3, 4.
Quick,
broken window and you are out of the game. Ain't calling on a kind of trouble. Hi,
Mr. Gillis, what is going on here?
Well, you see, the kids want to play
happened
baseball.
to Longfellow?
He's first base. And I didn't want to be
All right,
wet
kids,
blanket
put
or
those
anything.
desks back in place. Mr.
place
Gillis, Hiawatha.
Hiawatha. By Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. By the shores of Gitche-Gumee, by the shining big sea water, stood the wigwam of Nokomis, daughter of the...
Oh, how fascinating. I wonder what it is.
Oh, Mrs. Osborne, I believe it's a stove.
Oh, nasty. Well, I suppose it has some historical interest. Fire! Be careful. Be calm. I'm in charge here. Fire! Fish. Nasty mechanism. Well, girls, are you ready for today's lesson? Now, in the next few years, many of you will probably become housewives. Yeah. Looking at you now, it seems unlikely, but we live in hope. Now, the first problem that you will face will naturally be the proper hiring and firing of servants.
Oh, naturally.
Of course, the servant problem is best handled by your butler.
Oh, Mrs. Osborne, what if you don't have a butler?
You're jesting, of course. Everyone has a butler. Who else would take charge of the maids, the chefs, and the pantrymen?
I never thought about it like that.
Well, think, girl, think. Now we come to the problem of dismissing a servant. Zelda, how would you discharge an unsatisfactory chauffeur?
How about having him beheaded?
Oh, no, nowadays, that must be illegal or something.
Oh, Mrs. Osborne, do you have any special rules for running a household?
There is only one rule. Take over. Run that house with an iron hand. Don't let those nasty men open their mouths. The moment you're married, let him know who is boss. You punish insubordination at once.
That sounds cruel.
Yes.
Mrs. Osborne, I'm in charge.
Out!
Mrs. Osborne.
Out! I am in charge of this class. Beheading is not only for servants. Out!
Mrs. Osborne.
Yes?
Why?
Any other questions about the care and handling of men? Now, there are several other little items we should take up. For example, no young bride should dare start her married life without a complete silver service for 48.
Cheer up, Mr. Pomfret. Everything will turn out fine. You'll see.
Sure, Mr. Pomfret. You'll love it out there in that ice cream truck. Very healthy.
Maynard.
They cannot say that I deserted a sinking ship.
Mr. Pomfret, where are you going?
To make sure that Central High's last hours are filled with glory, I'm going to see those classes are run properly to the bitter end.
Mrs. Osborne's class, too?
Well, no. The end doesn't have to be that bitter.
How my love is burning, burning, burning. How my heart is yearning, yearning, yearning to be down among the sheltering palms. Oh, honey, wait. Back to the anvil chorus. All the little raindrops are pattering, tittering and pattering, tittering
One, two, three, four. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "'Tain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. And then from the bleachers, black with people, there arose...
Hiawatha?
By the shores of Kitchigoma, by the shining big sea water, stood the wigwam of Nokomis, daughter of the moon. Oh, you old Nokomis. Then from the bleachers, black with people, there arose a mighty roar, like the beating of the storm waves on some stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpires!"
Yep, that was the day the teachers disappeared. Pretty scary, huh? Well, the night they came back wasn't exactly the calmest either.
Order! Order! Or do I have to bring another gavel on somebody's head? Now, in view of our recent experiences at the high school, the board insisted that we have this meeting with teachers as soon as you are able to be back on your feet.
Yeah, well, most of the teachers have recovered, and they're here tonight, Mrs. Osborne.
Okay, let's can the chatter and get down to business. Pomfret, just what sort of a ridiculous raise did you teachers intend to ask for?
Well, we'd hoped for $15 a month, but we're willing to settle for $7.50 and hot lunches.
Hot lunches. Mister, you are fooling with Mr. Herbert T. Gillis, and I do not fool quick. $15 a month. Did you hear that? $15. Ha!
I'll say 20.
I'll say 25.
I'll say 35.
35? Oh, I don't want to be an old stick in the mud, but where are we going to get the money?
Simple. We'll just float a bond issue and just show me one guy in this town who's so stingy he'll vote against it.
That answers my question, and as chairman of the board, I insist the teachers get $40 raise and like it. Meeting adjourned, and I have no patience with back talk.
Fetch my gal and he stole her love from me. Don't send a monkey to the store to bring home bananas for your appetite. You send a monkey to the store to bring home bananas you won't eat tonight. Don't send an elephant to the store to bring home peanuts like the fella tells. You send an elephant to the store to bring home peanuts, you'll get peanut shells. Oh yeah, yeah, my buddy asked to borrow my car, so what was I to do? Oh, I let my buddy take my car, and he took my baby out too. Don't send a rabbit to the store to bring home carrots and put them on the shelf. You send a rabbit to the store to bring home carrots, he'll eat them all